Good evening, Lion faithful, and welcome once again to TA Cotton Ford Stadium for another 7-5A Division II matchup between the Princeton Panthers and your Greenville Lions. Both teams come into tonight's game with a record of 1-3. Princeton coming off a 27-21 district victory over Poteet, and the Lions after a tough 59-31 loss to Denison. I'm Bob Muty, and I'm blessed to be working with Bentley Love and Matthew Middleton here in the booth. Bentley, what kind of week have you had?
Yeah, Bob, it's been a pretty good week so far, staying plenty busy, but nothing too crazy. And, hopefully it'll end up really good with the Lions win tonight. I think it's going to be a pretty good battle. Both teams have had a little bit of a rough start to the season, but the Lions, that loss last week doesn't really tell the whole story on this team. They're a pretty good team, and hopefully they'll flip it around this week.
Yeah, and a lot of people are thinking that Denison's are going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
All right, Princeton will be led tonight by quarterback Braden Ratliff and running back Bryce Dade on offense, and Caden Wiley, DeMarcus McCoy, and Josh Cheekus on defense. Dade is a leading rusher with 81 yards per game, and Ratliff has thrown for 3 TDs while rushing for another 31-yard average per game. Wiley leads the team in tackles with 8 per game, including a sack, followed by McCoy and Cheekus, each with 4 tackles a game. Bentley, this game is rated a toss-up tonight.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, I could see it going either way, but I feel like the Lions are going to come out on top tonight. They're rated a little bit higher in the state standings so far for the season, and again, like I said, I feel like they're a better team than that game from last week shows.
Well, we had those 3 massive turnovers, the 2 block punts for touchdowns, and then that kickoff return for a touchdown, and that 21 points was a pretty good percentage of that margin of victory. Former Lion Adam Miller spoke at the Lion Dads breakfast this morning about equities. Miller was a 175-pound pulling guard on the 1995 team, which rebounded from a 1-8-1 season to a 7-4 under Marvin Sedbury. He later went into officiating and had a very successful career in both football and softball. I saw some new Lion Dad faces today, and the breakfast was fantastic, thanks in part to Brian Hudgens, who picked up burritos from Baker's Rib. Coach Randy Jackson continues to preach discipline, Bentley, positivity and improvement every week to his players as he tries to change the culture of Greenville football. Overall, I believe the team is responding to the message, and I look for good things from the Lions tonight. We'll be back after this message and talk a little bit about the starting lineups for the Lions.
New, better, fast. The same excellent reliability and hometown service you've always counted on, now with faster speeds. Whether it is streaming, gaming, surfing the web, or working from home, GEUS is connecting you to the world. Sign up today at GEUS.org or by calling 903-457-2800.
Greenville Lions will be starting on offense tonight with Anthony Johnson, the 6'3", 220-pound quarterback leading the charge. He'll be flanked by junior running back Greg Washington. And out wide, the receiver positions will be senior Jet Fifield and Dadrian Payton, along with Isaiah Williams in the slot and Nathan Michelle at the H-back. The big guys up front, starting at left tackle, will be Julian Sixtos, a sophomore, big guy, alongside Victor Osornio, another big guy. Nick Just will be manning the center spot. He's a junior, and Braden Maps, at 300 pounds, will be at right guard. And at tackle tonight, we'll either have Isaiah Wells or Xander Gonzalez starting for the Lions at that position. What do you got on defense, Bentley?
Yeah, so on the other side of the ball tonight for the Lions, up front, it's going to be junior number 45, Cody Waldrop, playing the left end position. And also up front with him is going to be the sophomore number 70, Mario Valentine, at the nose tackle. and senior number 59, Khalil Parker, playing right end. Manning the linebacker positions are going to be seniors number 28, Ruben Enriquez, playing outside linebacker, and senior number 33, Jonathan Sampson, playing middle linebacker. The last linebacker position will be taken up by junior number 23, Jaden Johnson, playing outside linebacker. And then the line secondary tonight is going to be made up of junior number 8, Daniel Renner, junior number 16, Caleb Yost, junior number 7, Reagan Goggins, sophomore number 18, Jamorian Hamilton, and junior number 3, Aiden Lewis.
Talking about defense for just a minute, I got introduced to Daniel Renner, who's one of our deep safeties, and had an interesting conversation with him. Actually, Johnny Sampson introduced me, and it was really fun talking with him. I mentioned his running that guy down from behind in that one game where he chased him for about 20 yards and tackled him just before he got in the end zone. So we're really expecting a close game tonight. Princeton comes in with some talent, but they've just moved up here in the last couple of years from 4A, and they're still kind of trying to get adjusted to the 5A level. And of course, Greenville, we're always at the bottom end as far as enrollment at 5A Division II, Bentley.
Yeah, but Greenville's put together some pretty good teams in the past, despite being a smaller school in the 5A division, and it's been a little bit of a rough start to the year, but I think they're going to win a few games this year, and I think it's going to start tonight with hopefully a win over this Princeton team, who's going to be a good opponent, no doubt. But I think Greenville will be able to outlast them when it's all said and done.
Well, driving through Princeton last week, we noticed that there's quite a bit of growth over there, and as you know, folks, here in Greenville, houses are going up everywhere. Lots of people moving into town, and so I think both teams both schools have a future with increased enrollment. Whether or not they stay in 2A or Division II is remains to be seen. Got a group. I think that's maybe the a cappella choir down there at the 50-yard line, probably going to do our national anthem for us. We're about 5.5 minutes away from the start of tonight's game. The Princeton Panthers will be dressed tonight with white jerseys, maroon pants, and maroon helmets. The Lions, we're waiting to see them. They'll be coming through the run-through. Who's our elementary school tonight, Bentley?
Tonight, they've hit most of them so far, but tonight they've got Travis and the intermediate school. So Travis and the 6th grade center being the school they're recognizing tonight. So it looks like the Lions are going to be in black jerseys with red pants and red helmets tonight. So I think that's a different look than we've seen so far this year, but it's a sharp one for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It seems to be fairly easy for our eyes up here in the press box to read those numbers on the Princeton squad. So the Panthers, hopefully we'll be able to identify them fairly easily. And when the Lions come out, we'll be able to tell you whether or not my eyes are going to be able to see those numbers. Yep, they definitely have the black jerseys with white numerals, so they're pretty easy to spot. Red helmets and red pants. So it'll be the Lions against the Panthers, and we'll take a 30-second break. Be back with the national anthem.
Careful use of our energy resources is a GEUS priority, and we know that saving money as well as energy is important to our customers. Did you know that you can save money year-round by making small changes to your thermostat? Save money and energy year-round by installing a programmable thermostat. Program a setting comfortable for your whole family while you're home. Program the thermostat while you are away 7 to 10 degrees or more cooler in the winter and warmer in the summer. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, you can save as much as 10% per year by doing this. Weather impacts our heating and cooling costs, causing our units to run more, especially during extreme temperatures. Adjust your thermostat just 4 degrees from your normal settings during extreme temperatures to conserve energy and save on your utility bill. Consider energy efficiency updates to your home to help improve comfort and savings. Improvements like sealing cracks around doors and windows and upgrading attic insulation keeps your cooling or heating in when you need it. GEUS customer service is ready to serve and assist you any way we can. Call 903-457-2800 or visit our website at www.geus.org.
Hi, we're back here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium. Bentley Love, Matthew Middleton, and Bob Muty with you. And we're going to have the presentation of the national anthem. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem by the Greenville a cappella group. And a great job, once again, by the Naval Junior ROTC cadets with the presentation of the colors. Here come the Panthers onto the field for the far side. The fans for Princeton have shown up pretty good. And they sound like they've got a pretty decent band over there. They're playing to the arrival of their Panthers. And here come the Lions. ROTC cadets with the big GHS flags. We got Kendrick Blakely leading the group out. And there come the kiddos from Travis, 6th grade center. And there's a slew of them.
And there's a few of them out running some of those football players. They might ought to throw some pads and a helmet on a couple of those guys. Let them run some kicks back for them.
I'll tell you what, they are still coming, and there are some little ones. Of course, the parents are not necessarily dragging them, but trying to get them. I mean, there's some guys down there that look like they're about 5 or 6 years old, maybe younger.
Yeah.
This is a great tradition that Greenville has started, where these kids get an opportunity to get down on the field and feel special.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they it's something that they started doing a few years ago, but it's really caught on well and really been well liked. So it looks like Greenville won the toss, and I didn't see if
did they defer. Typically,
it looked like they elected to receive. So the captains for Princeton tonight were number 8 Carl White, number 23 Jordan Mosley, number 24 Presley Self, and number 65 Logan McGill.
And they had the big guys representing the captains for Greenville tonight. We had number 79 Isaiah Wells, number 77 Richard Medina, number 74 Xander Gonzalez, and then the little guy, linebacker Ruben Enriquez, who wears number 28. And we'll be calling that name out probably quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, and he's one of the smallest guys on that defense, but he hits just as hard as probably the biggest guy on that defense.
Looks like the Lions are going to receive. They'll be moving from our right to our left, so from the south end of the field toward the north. We do have some wind, and it is prevailing out of the south, so probably this will be Chris Walker doing the kicking duties for Princeton. He'll be kicking into a fairly steep wind, and we have our 2 deep receivers up as close as the 20-yard line. It's going to be a short kick. It bounces, and there's trouble. That's a loose ball. Let's see who covered it. That's a serious lapse in decision-making that time, maybe by Isaiah Williams.
Yeah, and there's several guys from the Princeton sideline signaling that they've got it, but it looks like the official call is going to be Greenville's ball. So a little bit of a lapse in decision there, but it worked out for him, it looks like.
Well, and those pop-over kicks, sometimes, the guys have trouble deciding who's going to take it, but I think they were deferring to Williams, and he's got to catch that ball.
Yeah, well, and especially in this wind, it can be kind of hard to judge it, too. I think he thought it was going to go a little bit further than it did, but good thing they were able to jump on it and hold on to it.
Lions set up shop at their own 27-yard line. Johnson hands to Washington off left tackle. Washington's got some room around the left side. He's up beyond the 35-yard line for what appears to be a first down.
Yeah, and he got the first down and had a lot of open room, but then number 3, Cam Drake, the junior DB for Princeton, slid over and got him.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Johnson's looking now. He's scrambling to his left. Now he's going to run it. He's brought down, maybe got a yard before he was pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, and that was number 45 and number 22, Zaquan Cathcart and Caden Wiley on the tackle for Princeton.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage, up tempo, 2nd and 9. Johnson on the keeper, moves up close to the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up about 3rd and a short 5 to go. Again, this up-tempo offense keeps us in the booth plenty alert. There's a snap. Fake to Washington. Keeper by Johnson, and he's going to move the chains into Princeton territory down to about the 46-yard line. So good-looking series so far as Johnson drops back. He's looking to go deep. He's got Fifield. Fifield takes it at the 15, and he's into the end zone for a Greenville Lions touchdown.
And you quickly see his teammate, number 2, Caleb Hale, coming over and them celebrating in the end zone as the ROTC guys run along the track with the flags, and the powder cannons and confetti cannons go off in the student section. So real lively here in Greenville as the Lions get on the board first.
Fifield was so excited he started to come to the bench. Then he realized, hey, I got a hold for this placement. He takes the snap, puts it down for Nick Just. The kick is up, and it's good. Greenville Lions with a quick 7-0 lead with 10:30 remaining. Bentley, I like it.
I do too. They talk about wanting to play a fast, up-paced offense, and no better way to do that than go ahead and get the first touchdown on the board and try and jump out as far ahead as you can.
We used to have a statistician in the booth, and we'd be able to go to him at this point, and he'd say, okay, that was 5 plays, 80-some yards. In this case, it was, 73 yards, and it was about 5 or 6 plays.
Yeah.
Nice throw by Johnson. He hits Fifield in stride and uncontested into the end zone for the Greenville touchdown.
Yeah, extremely effective play for sure, or drive by the Lions for sure, and they went 73 yards in about 5 or 6 plays, and they only had the ball for about a minute and a half, so that's some quick moving on the Lions' part for sure.
Minute and a half brings us to 10:30 remaining here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Greenville with a quick score leads Princeton 7-0. Reagan Goggins is going to handle the kickoff duties for Greenville. He takes a short approach, and probably this is going to be a pop-over kick. Let's just wait and see. Sure enough, it is. It's going to come down at about the 26. It's taken there. And a nice return up to the Princeton 45-yard line before the Lions bring him down.
Yeah, and it looked like number 33, Jonathan Sampson, there making the initial contact on the tackle. And so the Panthers will be set up with some pretty good starting field position, but that Lions defense has been pretty tough so far this season. And so I think we won't see him just roll over by any means on this drive.
Braden Ratliff, senior quarterback for Princeton, will control the offense. 2 receivers right, 3 receivers right, 1 left. Hands the ball to Bryce Dade. Dade is moving forward for about a 7-yard gain. Into Greenville territory. The second, we'll call it 3. Dade looks to me to be a pretty good running back. I saw some film on Max Preps of him, and he's got some speed, so he may be a handful.
Yeah. Hopefully the big guys up front will be able to handle it, though.
2nd and 3 for the Panthers. Ball spotted at the Greenville 48. Fakes to Dade, looking downfield. Now Ratliff's going to run with it, and he's going to move the sticks as he busts the 45-yard line before Johnny Sampson's able to bring him down.
Yeah, and we saw number 45, Cody Waldrop, beat his blocker pretty well there, but Ratliff was just barely able to escape away.
Jacqueline Perkins is wide in the slot to the left. They have 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Dade set up in an I formation behind the quarterback Ratliff, who's looking over to the sidelines for the play. Now Dade moves to his left. Dade. First down for Princeton. Fakes to Dade. There's a pass. It's overthrown and intercepted. Oh, and just tripped up. It's a great job by the receiver there. That might have been Perkins.
Looked
pass. Go ahead.
Looked like number 11, Noah Davenport, on the play there. And we haven't called his name too many times, but he's always making plays when he's out there.
Well, that went off the hands of Jacqueline Perkins right into the hands of Davenport. And had Perkins not reached up and tripped Davenport, he might have scored.
I think he would have. I mean, there was nothing but green grass in front of him, but luckily for the Panthers, Perkins was able to reach up and get a little bit of his ankle there and take him down.
So with 9:01 remaining here in the first quarter, the turnover gives it back to the Lions. There's a reverse. Coming around this left side and getting good yardage is Isaiah Williams from the slot.
Yeah, and he was taken down. It was a joint effort by number 12, DeMarcus McCoy, 18, Ruben Swain, and number 22, Caden Wiley there on the play, as we saw Swain's helmet come off, so he's going to trot off the field for a play.
That's a little wrinkle that we haven't seen before, as Johnson faked to Washington and handed behind him to backward handoff to Williams coming around.
Yeah, and it looks like we might have an injury over there, number 76 for Princeton. He's looking to be walking off under his own power, though, so that's a good sign. And, again, that's number 76, Javian Smith.
So we'll take a short break for the injury, and we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Serving the people of Greenville is what we do. At GEUS, community involvement, volunteering, giving back through sponsorships, and providing hometown service with world-class reliability are just a few of our priorities. Being a locally owned public power utility means we are your family, friends, and neighbors. Community involvement and giving is easy when you are serving your hometown. Nationally recognized reliability and service, owned by those we serve for over 130 years.
While we were gone, a short pass to Nathan Michelle picks up about 4 yards. So Johnson, 2 for 2 early here. Michelle in motion, back to his H-back spot, blocks for Washington, and Washington moves forward about 3 yards to the 40-yard line of Princeton.
And so that should bring up about a 3rd down and 4 on the play and put them in some pretty good territory.
Power left. Fakes to Washington. Johnson on the keeper. He's got room. He's down to the 25-yard line and almost to the 20 before he's tripped up.
Yeah, and that was looked like number 16, Azan Stottenborough on the tackle there.
Good for you on that pronunciation, Bentley. I like it. You've been practicing. All right, Lions have trips right. Peyton split left. Johnson drops back. He's looking for Peyton. He's got him in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and Peyton went up and caught that over number 2, Layden McKinney, and number 3, Cam Drake there, making a beautiful play in the corner of the end zone. As once again, we see the flags go running down the track, and we see the powder and confetti cannons go off in the student section.
Lots of excitement here today early. So with 7:25 remaining, the Lions are setting up for a PAT to potentially make the score 14, and instead they go for 2 as Fifield keeps.
Oh, they called a penalty, though.
Okay, they went for two, and we've seen this before. I don't know whether it's been because it's a low snap or just an audible.
That one looked by design, but they called something here, called a flag moving them back 5 yards.
So just PAT will actually be a 25-yarder, and the snap is high, and Fifield is going to be tackled down at the 22-yard line. So failed PAT leaves the score at Greenville 13, Panthers nothing. I'll tell you what, Johnson threw that pass, Bentley, to where nobody else except Peyton could have gotten it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was beautifully placed, and he actually, honestly, at first it didn't quite really look like he would get to it either, but luckily, he turned the right angle and was just barely dropped it into his hands, and it was just a beautiful pass by Johnson and an excellent play by Peyton. So that's what we got to have here.
Yeah, I thought the catch was almost as good as the throw because Peyton had to get up in the air and get his feet down there in the side of the end zone. So if I'm not mistaken, Anthony Johnson is 3 for 3 for 2 touchdowns.
Right. I think you're right.
So Johnson's on a roll, and so are the Greenville Lions. They lead 13-0 over Princeton with 7:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Might remind everybody that there's going to be a different voice in the booth on homecoming, and Archer Oatmeal is going to be assisting Bentley, and he's in the booth kind of getting an idea of what broadcasting is all about. So we welcome Archer into the booth tonight. Here's Reagan Goggins' kick. Once again, it's a short one. Comes down at the 20. Oh, it's fumbled. It's back to the 10. Trying to bring it out now, and they call it dead. He must have taken a knee or put his knee down.
Must have. I didn't quite see it, but that's the only thing I can think of. So it looks like they're going to start right back at the 10. So nowhere near as good a field position as they had on their first drive. But as the Panthers trot out there to the field, they're definitely going to be hoping for a different outcome than they had on the first drive.
Yeah, that's a really tough break for Irvin Chandler's Panthers to be down 2 touchdowns and then have problems fielding the kickoff and have it roll dead or 10-yard line. We'll call it the 11-yard line, 1st and 10 for Princeton. 2 receivers either side. Looks like Presley might be in the backfield this time. A handoff. And good yardage for the running back. That's Presley Self. Dade gets a break. These two guys pretty much alternate at the running back spot. Second, we'll call it a long 4 for Princeton. Ball at the 16-yard line of the Panthers. Perkins moves into the slot on the left side. 1 receiver split right under the guise of Reagan Goggins. Under center now, Ratliff takes a snap, hands off to Self, and Self is buried after a pickup of a couple by a couple of black-shirted Lions.
Well, and that's something we saw last week with Denison too. 2 pretty good running backs, and that's really good for a high school team that runs the ball a lot because they've always got some fresh legs in there. As we see number 20, Bryce Dade, come on out again.
3rd and 1, and the up back this time, the fullback gets the carry, and that's enough to move the chains. That was Self and Dade both in there that time, and Self got the handoff from the fullback spot. 1st down, Princeton. Ball at the 22-yard line of the Panthers. Back in the shotgun formation is Ratliff. So a little change of pace for the Panthers gets them a 1st down. Hand off to Dade, and Dade's got some room. He's loose at midfield, being chased by Goggins. Still going, and he's finally run down at the 27-yard line of the Greenville Lions by the aforementioned speedster Daniel Renner.
Yeah, and we've seen him do it once before, and we'll see him do it again.
That's a touchdown-saving tackle right there. Once again, it's fake to Dade, and pulled down by the shirt is Ratliff. Great defensive play that time by, is that Waldrop?
Yes, sir, yeah, number 45, Cody Waldrop there making a difference behind the line.
The chain gang, the referees did not wait for the chain gang, They're supposed to do that, but in any event, Ratliff's brought down loss of about a yard, so we'll call it 2nd and 11. Ball spotted at about the 26-yard line of the Lions. 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 13-0 in favor of the Lions. Ratliff under center this time. Hands to Dade off left tackle, and Dade is hit hard. I think that might have been Jonathan Sampson.
Yeah, number 33, Jonathan Sampson on the play, just really lighting up Dade. I mean, it was like getting run over by a truck almost.
That's a good read by the linebacker that time. Pickup of only a couple. We'll call it 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. Lion defense trying to stiffen here, protect this shutout. 2 receivers either side. Once again, they spread it out pretty good, Bentley.
Yeah, for sure.
Hand off this time to Presley, Self, and Self is stopped at about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, brought down by 3 lines. Number 59, Khalil Parker being the first one to get there, it looked like.
And it looks like the Panthers are going to go for it. Their kicker is a sophomore, Jackson Watson, and apparently he doesn't have this kind of range, particularly into the wind. So 4th and 8 for the Panthers. Braden Ratliff drops back, looking downfield. Now he's under some pressure. He's scrambling, and he's not going to get to the first down yardage. So the Lions bring him down at about the 20. So a turnover on downs for the Lion defense.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a tough call, in the situation like that, but didn't quite pay off for him this time.
Well, and Braden Ratliff is not necessarily a very big guy. He's 5'10". He looks like he probably only weighs about 150 pounds.
35 yards, you couldn't hit it. And he was kicking into the wind.
Yeah, well.
All right, 3:35 remaining now, so that's the second turnover for the Lion defense. This one on downs, the previous one on an interception by Davenport. So 1st and 10 for the Lions. We'll call it their own 19-yard line. Washington and Johnson, along with Michelle in the backfield. And there's a handoff, fake handoff to Washington, and Johnson is carrying people, 3 or 4. He carries about 4 guys over the 30-yard line for a Greenville first down.
Yeah, like you said, he went all the way across the 30, dragging 4 guys right behind him.
This time he does hand to Washington, and Washington's breaks 1 tackle, has good yardage up to about the 40. Junior Greg Washington showing some stuff tonight. We'll call it 2nd and 3 at the 39-yard line. Johnson drops back, licking deep for Fifield. This time he overshoots him, so that's his first, I think, incompletion of the night.
Yeah, and I guess the referee didn't see it, but it was pretty obvious up here from the booth that the defensive back there got away with something, as I saw a whole handful of jersey grabbing Fifield's jersey.
Looks like Fifield's got quite a height advantage over that DB. 3rd and 3. Fakes the handoff. Johnson keeps it. He's going to be short, I believe, of the first down. Going to be very close. And it looks like maybe my eyes have deceived me. And thankfully, that's going to be a first down for Johnson. 2:38 remaining, clock running. First down, Greenville. Johnson drops back, bubble screen. This time the Panthers cover it very well. That's going to be a loss.
Yeah, and he was met by about 3 Panthers there, it looked like. Headed up by number 9, Pedro Nuzugani for the Panthers.
That was Caleb Hale on the reception, but good coverage by the Panther DBs. Fakes the handoff. Johnson with the keeper. This time the Panthers stop him at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd and long for the Lions. Let's see what they can do. Panther defense trying to stiffen here. Just under 2 minutes remain here in the first quarter. Hale goes back to the far side of the field. So split left, we have Fifield and Payton. Hale by himself on the right flank, and Johnson drops back. He's looking for Payton this time. Payton is unable to grab that one. It was over the wrong shoulder, and Dadrian had to had to really try to make an adjustment.
Well,
not too far off target.
No, and it looked like he might have even stopped a little bit, which leads me to believe he might have lost it for a second in the lights. And that's a tough break there. But they're going to trot number 9, Edwin Garcia, out there to handle the punting unit for the Lions, as he's been pretty good so far this season for the most part. So hopefully we'll see him kick it pretty far back there. The Panthers are all the way back at the 15.
Garcia gets this one off. It's a short kick, and it bounds out of bounds at about the Panther 40-yard line. But at least it wasn't blocked.
Yeah, that was the story for the Lions last week. So a good start for him so far. And, I think the band for the Panthers might have gotten in his head a little bit, because right as they snapped the ball, you could hear all the tubas playing extremely loud.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a problem with the Denison band last week, and Coach Jackson had to call the officials into the fray and have them kind of cut out with the noise during our offensive series. So the Panthers now will have really good field position at their own 41-yard line, as opposed to their last series when they started at their 10. Ratliff under center this time. Hands to Dade right up the middle, and Dade is brought down a one-legged tackle that time. Nice job. That was Enriquez, I think, on that tackle, Bentley.
I think you're right, and it looked like he just got, looks like about 2 yards there on that play.
Dade had some room to run had Enriquez not grabbed him by the left leg, but he went down quick. Second, and we'll call it 8 for the Panthers. Spotted at their own 43-yard line. Senior quarterback Braden Ratliff at the controls for the Panthers. Hands to Dade. Dade's got some room to run, and he's going to move the chains. He's going to be inside the Greenville territory, down to about the Greenville 40.
Yeah, and as he made his way across the 50, right about the 45, he picked up one defender and then picked up a few more and ended up dragging about 5 with him for about 3 yards.
Dade's a pretty good-sized guy. Comes in at 5'10", 175 pounds. That's a good-sized running back. First down, Princeton at the Greenville 40-yard line. 16 seconds and counting remaining here in the first quarter. Under center is Ratliff. Turns, hands to Dade, and Dade is immediately dropped, I believe, by Khalil Parker with a little help from Davenport.
Yeah, and Parker got back there, wrapped him up, and took him down pretty much immediately. Once he got his hands on him, there was no escape for Dade.
And we've seen Parker do this quite a few times. He must have certain plays where he just shoots the gap and brings down the ball carrier, a tackle for a loss. All right, so we're at the end of the first quarter, and we're going to take a break. Bob Muty and baseball Bentley Love coming to you from T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium's press box. Matthew Middleton at the controls and Archer O'Neill in reserve. Lions lead 13-0 here ready to start the second quarter. Princeton will have the ball with a 2nd and 12 at the Greenville 42-yard line. They have wide receivers, 2 on either side of the Panther formation. Ratliff throws right, has his man, but a short pickup, good coverage over there by the Lion DB.
Yeah, I can't quite make out who that is, but it looked like number 28, Ruben Enriquez, on the tackle there for the Lions.
That was just a quick screen and good defense there that time by the linebacker. Third, we'll call it 9 yards. Ball right at the 39-yard line of Greenville. Just here at the beginning of the second quarter. Lions lead by 2 touchdowns, 13-0. Ratliff in the shotgun formation this time. Under pressure, he's scrambling, he's got some room to run, and he's on the far side, and he outruns Sampson And that's going to move the chains for Princeton.
Yeah, and it's been a little interesting tonight. So far, we've seen the Lions trot out a four-man front with two linebackers quite often tonight, but typically they go with three up front and three linebackers. So a little bit of a different look for the Lions so far.
And Burt Ratliff showed some pretty good speed right there. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of Greenville. Presley Self in at running back for Princeton. Quick pass out by Ratliff, and he dodges a receiver. That's a touchdown for the Panthers as Daniel Renner got sidestepped, and on a quick screen, the Panthers score.
It looks like they're ruling him down at the 1-yard line, maybe.
Okay, so it'll be no touchdown for the Panthers, but a 1st and goal. And into the end zone goes Presley Self. So with 10:40 remaining here in the first quarter, second quarter, Princeton has scored. And with the upcoming placement, we'll see if they're successful. Once again, this is sophomore Jackson Watson. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. So with 10:43 remaining, Princeton on the board. It's 13-7, Greenville. We'll be back after these messages. And we got Lions kick returners standing at the 20-yard line. I think that's Isaiah Williams and probably Dadrian Payton. Handling the kickoff chores for Princeton is Chris Walker, a senior. So the Panthers have put a 7 spot on the board, and here's the kick. It's going to go out of bounds, so that'll be an illegal procedure penalty against Princeton, and we'll see how Coach Jackson wants to handle the 5 yards. Normally that ball spot would be spotted at the 25. Looks like it went out of bounds at about the 20. So we'll see where Greenville's going to get to start this series. I'm guessing the 30.
I think you're probably going to be right.
So the Lions, after stumbling on that last series after getting 1 first down, now they're being challenged with only a 6-point lead. Need to get the offense going again, Bentley.
Yeah, they do, and I think we're going to see a big play here. Probably connection from Johnson. Oh, run by Johnson.
Johnson's got the ball, and he's still going. Finally hog-tied at about the 44-yard line of the Lions. So that's a 14-yard pickup for Big A.J.
Yeah, and that was number 18, Reuben Swain, the senior, 6'1", 155-pound free safety for the Panthers.
First down, Greenville, 44-yard line. Handoff to Gibson this time. And the junior running back, Jaden Johnson, is held to about 3 yards. So Johnson in there replacing Greg Washington. Let's hope Washington is okay. Second, we'll call it 7. Johnson once again fakes the handoff this time to Jaden Johnson, keeps it, and he just runs hard and breaks tackles and drags people up to the 45-yard line of Princeton, and that's going to be enough for a Greenville first down.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing about Johnson. Being 6'3" and weighing in at 220 pounds, he's hard to take down. He can just kind of run over everybody.
I think he's a lot bigger than most of those guys on the Princeton defense. Now he's dropped back. He's looking deep. He has a man. And it is caught for a touchdown.
Yeah, and as we see Dadrian Payton doing a celebration all the way out to about the 15-yard line after snagging that.
That's a really good catch by Payton there, as he had to kind of almost go to the ground to get that one. The guy had pretty good coverage on him. Ball was slightly underthrown, but Payton did a good job of coming back to get it. And as he caught it, he fell right into the end zone. So another quick score for the Lions. And they're lining up for the PAT right now. They're going to go for one. Let's see if that actually happens. The kick is up by Nick Just, and it's good. Lions 20, Panthers 7. We'll take a break. Bentley and I were just talking about the length of time that Anthony Johnson has had to throw tonight. So let's give some kudos to that offensive line. Sixtos and Just and Orsornio and Xander Gonzalez and Medina and Wells. Those guys are doing a heck of a job protecting their quarterback. And it's got to be really refreshing for Johnson, because he's been under pressure just about every other game we've done.
Yeah, and I think that no doubt those guys have been putting in the work up front, but I think that also shows just how good that Denison team and Denison's defensive front really was last week compared to the Princeton defensive front.
Yeah, clearly there's a difference in the skill level here. And Reagan Goggins with the short kick, and it's going to go out of bounds also at about the 33-yard line. So Goggins returns the favor with the out-of-bounds kickoff, and they'll probably take that right where it went out, which is about the 34. That's, again, pretty good field position for the Panthers to start.
Yeah, as we see the Lions defense go ahead and trot on out. So they're not quite sure yet where to go yet, though, because they haven't decided where they're going to take it from. So, yeah, it looks like about the 39-yard line.
And the Greenville defense is set up with a four-man front this time. Parker and Mario Valentine, Josh Brock, and probably Cody Waldrop. First and 10, Princeton. Their own 39-yard line. Ratliff, quick pass out. Got a blocker. The receiver's loose. He's down to the 40, the 30. Pushed out of bounds there. The breakdown defensively by the Lions, and Daniel Renner has to come over and force Perkins. Actually, that's not Perkins. That's DeMarcus McCoy. I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden he just had nobody around him. Good job by the blockers of fellow receivers for Princeton. First down for the Panthers in Greenville territory now. Ratliff now is under some duress, and he's brought down after maybe he picks up a yard on the scramble.
Yeah, it was big number 50, Travell Oakley, jumping on him there.
Panthers go quickly to the line of scrimmage. Ratliff looks over for the play. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line of the Lions. They lead 20-7 with 8:43 remaining here in the first half. Once again, Ratliff checks over. Quick pass out. Again, good blocking by the other receivers, and out of bounds, forced out of bounds, short of the first down.
Yeah, and that was number 8, Daniel Renner, and number 7, Reagan Goggins, working together to force him out of bounds. So looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and about 6, it looks like. Kendrick
Blakely into the game to play the defensive cornerback spot. Looks like Princeton's found something that's working with these quick screens. 3rd down, we'll call it 6 for the Panthers. Ratliff drops back, looking downfield, finds a man. The ball is incomplete. Receiver had it and lost it. Bring up a 4th down for the Panthers. 4th and 6. Ball at the 21. 8:21 remaining. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Panthers going for it on fourth. They trail 20-7 here with 8:21 remaining in the first half of this one. Under center is Ratliff. Tight formation. Drops back. Finds the running back. It might have been McCoy, and McCoy's going to get a first down. Actually, that's Marcus Flowers on the carry.
Well, and that's pretty interesting because here on their roster, he's listed as a quarterback. So they go ahead and run him out there and let him go for a run.
Might watch for that one later on in the game, as a pass.
Yeah.
Halfback pass from the backup quarterback. 1st and 10, Princeton. And quickly, Dade is brought down, and there's a couple of helmets on the field. Dade's is one of them. And somebody else lost a hat as well, but Dade is brought down for no gain. And he is down on the field. Bryce Dade, when he lost his helmet, I wonder if he might have got hit in the head after that.
He could have.
Well, the senior running back is he's on his knees right now with his head down on the turf, and we'll see if we can get a report on Bryce Dade after these messages.
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. GEUS, delivering high-speed internet to our hometown for more than 20 years.
And the senior running back for Princeton, Bryce Dade, is up on his feet. He looks a little bit woozy going to the sideline, so I think indeed he may have gotten his bell rung.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that we might not see much more out of Bryce Dade tonight. So hopefully it's just an injury that keeps him sidelined for the rest of this evening, and he's able to go back out there next week.
Well, he stayed down for about a minute and a half or 2 minutes. Now we have a timeout called by Princeton. But Coach Chandler's got to kind of rework the offense now with Dade out of the lineup.
Yeah, it is a good sign, though, to see him walk off under his own power, though.
He was brought down for a loss of a yard. So it'll be 2nd 11 when we resume. Beautiful night for football tonight, Bentley.
Yeah, and while we got a second here, figure I'll go ahead and give you all a little update on the district so far. Last night, Crandall played Poteet and beat them 57-35 to improve to 3-2 on the year. Right now, Melissa's leading Terrell 21-7 in the first quarter, and Lovejoy's leading Denison 27-0 in the second quarter.
Wow, holy mackerel! Lovejoy and Melissa. Lovejoy's state-ranked 3rd. Melissa's, of course, the top dog in 5A Division II in the state. Lots of really good football teams in our district, folks. Anyway, back ready to resume here. Presley Self now is in at the running back, standing next to Braden Ratliff. 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. Inside the red zone. Fakes to Self and then gets it to him, and Self's going to score. Untouched. Faked the handoff and then gave him a little quick screen, and I'll tell you what, Princeton is doing a great job blocking downfield for the receivers.
Yeah, no, for sure, and there just wasn't anybody there that could get to him.
So Watson lines up for the point after attempt. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up. It is also good. So the Panthers closed to 20-14. And now we've turned into an offensive explosion here for both teams.
Yeah, and it's been back and forth pretty much. We score, they score type thing so far in this game. So hopefully the Lions will be able to score a couple and get a couple stops too to go ahead and expand that lead a little bit for us.
Well, and the Panthers will receive the second half kickoff. So that's something to think about. as the Lions won the toss and decided to receive, which is a little bit different. But Coach Jackson confident in his offense, and they proved that they were indeed up to the task. Looks like possibly Watkins going to handle the kickoff duties this time. Deep for the Lions, standing at the 15-yard line, Isaiah Williams and Dadrian Payton.
Yeah, and they've had a pretty good season so far when they've actually gotten to get the ball in their hands. So hopefully they'll get it in their hands here too.
Here comes Watkins' kick. It's a short one. It's dropped. Oh my. A scramble for the ball, pile up. Let's see if the Greenville receiver was able to cover it. Boy, we're having trouble catching the ball tonight on the kick returns.
Yeah. Yeah, and luckily he was able to go ahead and jump on it and keep it a Greenville ball, but that is definitely a scary sight and not something you want to see happen as often as it's happened tonight.
Yeah, it was Tyler Trexel that had trouble corralling that pop-over kick. But he's able to recover at the Greenville 31-yard line. That's where the Lions will set up shop. Just under 8 minutes remaining here in the first half of a very interesting game thus far. They called it a toss-up, and that's pretty much what we've got. Handoff this time from Johnson to, I think that's Greg Washington back into the game, and Washington's got about 4 yards.
Yeah, and it's good to see him back out there. We didn't see him for the majority of that last drive, so the fact that he's back out there is definitely good for the Lions.
Johnson in the shotgun, fakes a handoff, it's a keeper. Johnson trying to continue to go, and he's getting pushed. They're still going. Helmets on the field once again, and Johnson is up close to the yard to gain, but you wonder why they didn't blow the whistle for forward progress that time. Somebody could have gotten hurt there.
Oh, and it looks like Johnson is down on the field.
Yeah, that was probably an opportunity for the referees to just go ahead and call that one forward progress.
Oh, and there's two guys down on the field. Johnson, who looks really shook up, and then another player for Princeton is down too.
They did move the chain, so it is a first down, and Johnson is up on his feet. Yeah, but he'll come to the sidelines. So he'll get to sit out at least one play, and he's a vital cog in this Greenville offense.
Yeah, he is, for sure. That is definitely a fact. So I imagine we'll see, I would bet probably Fifield come in, but we could also see Michelle come in for this play to man the quarterback position. And we saw a little bit of a trick play last week with Fifield throwing to Payton for a touchdown. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, no doubt Fifield will be able to manage out there, but it'll be interesting to see who they run out there.
Well, it's going to be a 1st and 10, and the Princeton player is still down on the field. Am I correct in that, Bentley?
Yeah, I believe you are, and that's not a good sign for that squad over there.
Why don't we take 30 seconds, and we'll be right back.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
Coach Jackson comes over to the bench where Anthony Johnson is seated. Johnson has his helmet back on, and Jackson's checking on his bell cow there. Looks like Johnson's going to be okay, but he's going to get at least one play off.
Yeah, and sure enough, we will see number 82, Nathan Michelle, man in the quarterback position on this play.
1st and 10. Michelle hands to Washington, straight up the middle. Washington is stopped after a pickup of maybe 3 yards. And back onto the field is number 13, Anthony Johnson gets a handshake from Michelle. Richard Medina comes off. It's interesting, a quarterback comes in and replaces a tackle. So Medina was in there in the H-back position. Hand off to Washington. Again, just a short gain beyond the 45-yard line of Greenville.
Yeah, and definitely a good thing for the Lions to see big number 13 trot back out there, because he's been a huge part of their offense this season.
It's a big third down here. 5 yards to go, just short of midfield. Johnson drops back, finds his man. It's Fifield, and Fifield managed to get himself out of bounds after he gets a first down. So good job by the senior wide receiver.
Yeah, and those are the kind of plays we look to be made by Fifield, and he's a good ball player, all around great athlete. So good to see him connect there.
Used every bit of his 6'4", 210-pound frame that time to push the receiver beyond the first down marker. Now Johnson looking downfield. He's looking for Fifield, and Fifield can't get it. Looked like pretty close coverage there by the Princeton defender, and that ball might have been thrown just slightly out of bounds, Bentley.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It did just land just barely this side of the out of bounds line. So unfortunate go for the Lions there, but it sure was a close play.
2nd and 10. Johnson fakes a handoff, goes off left tackle, rolls a man over. He just runs over somebody at the Princeton 37-yard line, and that's going to move the sticks one more time, Bentley.
Yeah, and that was number 18, Ruben Swain there, that he just kind of just ran right over.
Welcome to this one, Ruben. Johnson back now, looking downfield, finds his man, had first down yardage, but backtracked a little bit, but gets back beyond first down yardage. That's Payton with the reception. Payton loses his hat, so he'll get a break. One of the rules in high school and college football is that if you lose your hat, you got to sit out a play. But a good pass, good reception by Payton, who seems to be one of Johnson's favorites, and a first down for Greenville inside the 25-yard line. Greg Washington on the carry. Washington's being limited to 2 to 3 yards per snap, but that's positive yardage, and that's a good thing on first down every time.
Yeah, and that was number 21, Giovanni Ayala, the sophomore linebacker on the tackle there for the Panthers.
Call it 2nd and 9. Once again, Johnson keeps this time, and the Princeton Panther defense is trying to figure out that, hey, maybe Johnson's going to keep the ball a lot when he fakes it to Washington. That time they had 2 guys ready for A.J. and brought him down for no gain. 3rd and 9 for Greenville. 4:44 remaining here in the first half. Johnson drops back, looks downfield. He's going deep. He's got Payton. Nice defensive play there in the corner of the end zone as that ball was knocked away. That ball was thrown well, and Payton would have had a touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't really know what's going on this home sideline with the referee down here, because I saw real clear a handful of jersey by the DB for the Panthers there.
Wow.
And I also heard it be called by the guys a couple booths over from us talking about it too.
Yeah, the guys that handle the clock and the scoreboard, they get into it. They've been big cheerleaders tonight. So it's a 4th and 9 for Greenville, and they're going for it. Johnson has Washington. In motion goes Fifield. Hands to Washington. Here's a reverse and a flea flicker. And a wide open receiver is Fifield. And Fifield breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone.
Yeah, and that's his 2nd touchdown of the night. And, last week against Denison, we saw something kind of similar to that, except Fifield was actually the one who made the throw in to Payton, but a little bit of a reverse here, and that was a beautiful play. And I almost said a couple plays ago I'd like to see him pull something like that out again, and lo and behold, they did.
Wow, that was interesting. That was a handoff, a reverse, and then a flea flicker as the receiver kicked the ball or passed the ball back to Johnson, and Johnson found a wide open jet 5 field on the near side at about the 8-yard line, and he bowled a guy over for the touchdown. So razzle-dazzle once again, and the Lions with a successful PAT from Nick Just now have a 27-14 lead over the Panthers. We'll be back in just a minute. Reagan Goggins with the kick. Comes down at the 32-yard line, taken there by the Princeton receiver, and he's got good yardage. And we've got a Greenville player down at the spot where the receiver caught the ball.
Yeah, and that looks to be number 5, Kendrick Blakely, and he's a big part of that defense. So not a good sight there for the Lions, but I bet he'll be all right.
Well, Goggins' kick was returned pretty nicely that time, and the Panthers once again are going to have really good starting field position.
Yeah.
44-yard line. Wow.
Yeah, well, and that's been the story for them. They've had pretty good starting field position most of the time. Now, the first drive when they had really good starting field position, it turned into an interception. But hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that tonight on this drive.
4:10 remaining here in the first half. Blakely is on his feet now and will go to the bench. Kendrick is primarily a defensive player, so he'll be missed in that lineup right now. He typically mans that far side cornerback. So the Panthers are going to start off at their own 44-yard line. White, 2 receivers on either side, and they're looking probably for those screen passes again. They've had great success. And they fake the screen, and they go deep, and they find his man, and he's going to score a Panther touchdown.
And that was number 2, Layden McKinney there, going all the way in for the score.
That was the old out and up, and boy, he caught the Greenville defenders biting on the out. Good throw by Ratliff and a quick score by the Panthers. We got ourselves a track meet here, Bentley.
Yeah.
Lining up for the PAT now, sophomore Jackson Watchin. And his kick is up. And it's good. Wow, that was a quick strike. 27-21, Greenville leads.
I had the ball for a whopping 10 seconds on that drive.
Gee whiz.
One
I'll
play.
tell you what, Greenville's defensive backs have got their hands full tonight.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting because we've seen them do pretty well all season long. They've held some pretty good teams pretty well thus far, but struggling a little bit tonight. But hopefully we'll see the table flip a little bit in the second half.
Well, there are definitely going to be some halftime adjustments probably by both coaches because, wide open receivers have been all over the field tonight for both teams. At that time, just a quick little out. We're talking about those quick screens, and I think that's what the Greenville DBs were looking for that time, and he just took a step out and then just right down the field, and Ratliff hit him in stride. Ratliff with a really good throw. So Princeton will be kicking off from our right to our left. They've got the prevailing wind at their back. Let's see if the Lions can catch the kickoff and possibly get a pretty good return this time. Sophomore Watchin approaches with a short approach, and it's a short kick, and it's taken at the 37-yard line by, I think that's Trexel again, isn't it?
I think it was number 11, Noah Davenport there.
Okay. Different guy in there that time, and Noah Davenport takes the pop-over kick and gives the Greenville Lions good starting position at their own 38-yard line. 4 minutes exactly remaining here in the first half of a hotly contested contest. Lots of offense. Anthony Johnson, senior quarterback, takes a snap. Hands to Washington. Washington's loose up the middle. Takes a big hit at midfield. Pushes forward for yet another yard, but what a hole that time Greg Washington, the junior running back, had to run through.
Jaden Johnson.
Chain gang moves the chains into Panther territory. This time Johnson with a keeper, and he is met. And beautiful tackle that time from Princeton D lineman right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and he tried to get through, and he almost did, but that D lineman there just grabbed a hold of his ankle and wasn't letting go.
2nd down and 10. Washington breaks through to the linebacker position, and he's got pretty nice pickup that time for the junior running back. Up-tempo offense for the Lions. We'll call it 3rd and 4, just outside the 40-yard line of Princeton. Lions need to keep pace with these little Panthers. Here's a pass to Fifield. It's complete. Fifield's pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line of Princeton. That's going to be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, and that's his 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th reception of the evening.
Anthony Johnson having a good day in the passing game. Now he's looking the other way. He has his man. That's Peyton. Peyton's trying to break a tackle, but the Princeton defenders hang on with a little bit of help from another guy, and they get him down at, 7-yard pickup, Bentley?
Yeah, it looks to be, and that was number 12, DeMarcus McCoy, and number 13, Devin Mwava on the tackle there.
Johnson on keeper this time. A beautiful tackle that time. And Johnson goes down hard, just short of the 25-yard line. We'll call him a game of about 2. I think the Princeton defenders are so concerned about the deep pass, they're giving a lot of cushion to the wide receivers. Hand off to Greg Washington. Washington's loose down inside the 10. He's brought down at about the 8-yard line. Greg Washington bowling people over for a Greenville first down.
Yeah, and Bob, I think that might have actually been number 23, Jaden Johnson there.
Well, missed call on my part. Johnson does a good job. This time, Johnson fakes to Johnson, and he's tripped up, Anthony Johnson. He falls down just inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and the, oh, man.
We got some stuff going on, I'll tell you. All right, fakes this time. Anthony Johnson, he's trying to get into the end zone, and he's in.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson fakes to Jaden Johnson, and Anthony Johnson goes ahead and jumps on into the end zone.
You know, that's not fair to a broadcaster when they put Jaden Johnson into the game, Bentley. It's just not fair.
Yeah, well, he's great, but, you know, you've got Anthony Johnson, number 13, the quarterback. You've got Jaden Johnson, the backup running back, number 23, and then you've got Greg Washington, the starting running back, who wears 25. 23 and 25 look a lot alike, and 2 guys have the same last name.
Well,
Howard Johnson's right about Joe Johnson being right.
you can call me Johnson, or you can call me, don't worry. I don't know how that goes, but that was pretty funny. Anyway, the Lions put point number 33 on the board, courtesy of the big quarterback, senior quarterback, Anthony Johnson, on about a 4-yard run from scrimmage. But I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with Jaden Johnson on that previous carry. He was running strong.
Yeah, and you know, he's the backup, but that just shows you just how good of a running back Greg Washington is, because even without Greg out there, Jaden Johnson would still be a really, really good starting running back.
Well, Johnson's listed at 168 pounds. Washington's 205, and Washington's quite a bit taller, so I got to give kudos to Jaden Johnson. Looks like the Lions are going to go for 2. Johnson fakes a handoff, And he bowls his way once again into the end zone, this time for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and that's real big for the Lions, putting them up by a whole 14 points because the Panthers are fixing to get the ball back, and like Bob mentioned earlier, they're also going to get it to start the second half. So if the Lions don't stop them here, they could put 2 touchdowns up unanswered, and so it's every point matters in that situation. And so it's good that they were able to fix the missed field goal, I guess you could say earlier, by going ahead and getting 2 here.
That's a good point, Bentley. 35-21. I'll tell you what, Anthony Johnson is just a load. He's a big guy, and he can flat carry people for lots more yardage after initial contact.
Yeah, he can, and you know something I'm realizing, this they've put up 56 points together so far this game, and I remember us talking about how many points the two teams put up together last week, but I think they might have put up more points this week than they did last week.
I think so.
In the first half.
You know, as my brother-in-law would say, the defenses are on the field for no apparent reason.
Yeah, that you could definitely say that right now.
1:23 remaining here in the first half. It would be nice if the Greenville defense could stop the Panthers and take this 14-point lead to the half. Here's the running back, or the returner, for Princeton. And again, they're up almost to the 45-yard line for great starting field position.
Yeah, and he's just kind of bouncing around, pinballing off of everybody, and looked to get all the way back to the 44.
Like Edwin Garcia might have gotten a little bit shaken up there.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to trot off the field, and Jaden Johnson's going to come in to take his place.
Well, the Greenville secondary definitely has to shore some things up because Princeton has taken advantage of them in the passing game. First down for the Panthers at their own 44-yard line. Rolling right is Ratliff. He's looking downfield. He finds his man. I don't know whether that was caught or not. It looks like it was. It was a low throw. Nice reception over there. Chains are going to move, and Panthers quickly to the line of scrimmage. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. 3 receivers left this time. Ratliff looking downfield. He's going deep. He has a man and overshoots him on the wrong shoulder. That was Perkins down there.
Yeah, and Perkins, he beat what appeared to be almost triple coverage there, but luckily for the Lions, the throw was off target. So, like you said, bringing up second down and 10 to go. Parker almost got to the quarterback there, but right as he was about to get past his man, it looked like the lineman dropped real low and tripped him up, and he just kind of flailed as he was falling over there for a second.
That's really what the Lion defense needs, a little bit more pressure on Ratliff because he's ripping them up right now. He drops back this time, has a little bit of pressure, has a wide open receiver, and the ball is dropped. He was beyond first down yardage, just couldn't hang on to that one.
Yeah, and you know he's kicking himself there because he would have gotten the first down and a lot more if he'd hung on to that one. And
Landon McKinney with as the intended target. 39 seconds remaining. Stopped on the incomplete. 2nd and 10. Actually, it's 3rd and 10 after the 2 incompletes. Looks like we might have a Greenville blitz. And there's pressure, and this time he hands the ball off to the running back, and nowhere to go for that time.
Yeah, and that was number 59, Khalil Parker, back there. And haven't called his name quite as many times right now or this game as we typically do, but he is still nonetheless making a big difference back there.
And Jonathan Sampson in on that one as well. The linebacker, senior linebackers, been involved with quite a few tackles tonight. Happens to be one of my guys. You know, I'm a Lion dad.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Sampson and Mario Valentine are my 2 players, and I really enjoyed getting to know them. They're both really good guys. Valentine, a sophomore, 6'1", and comes in at about 285 pounds. And Panthers are going to call timeout. They let the clock run down to 2 and then call a timeout. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, my guess is they might not have had enough time on the play clock to let it run all the way down, so they're going to go ahead and punt here. And but they wanted to make sure the Lions didn't have much time to work with.
I doubt they'll get into punt formation. I would think they'll just take a knee.
Well, could be, yeah, excuse me.
Run around because you don't want to take a chance on a bad snap or something like what could happen at Denison last week to Greenville.
Yeah, run back would be detrimental.
Very entertaining first half here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. I've enjoyed working this one with Bentley, and Matthew's done a great job. We've had a lot of background noise tonight. Matthew's gotten excited. Espino and Cummings and next door, those guys are really into it, and they're the guys that do the scoreboard and the clock, and they're fun. And they're right next door. The only thing we have is a glass between us, and then of course we got an open back. So here we go. All right, they line up in the shotgun formation. Let's look for Ratliff to maybe try to get a pass downfield. We'll see. That's exactly what he's going to do. The clock goes off. He's rolling to his right. Oh, he takes a hit. Wow. He paid the price and tried to make something happen on fourth down.
Yeah, and it wasn't a sack, but Parker hit him like a truck there, and he looked a little shooken up, and with good reason, he just got run over.
Well, he'll remember. He'll need halftime to recover from that one. Okay, so we are here at the half at Greenville Stadium, and it's 35-21 in favor of the Lions. We're hoping to have a halftime guest. I don't know whether David Claiborne is in the stadium or not tonight, but we'll find out. And after about 2 minutes, we'll be back with halftime festivities.
Greenville became the first municipally owned public power electric utility in Texas in 1891, when privately owned companies were only interested in serving large cities such as Dallas and Fort Worth. Greenville citizens took destiny into their own hands and began producing their own power. Today, more than 130 years later, GEUS continues to provide this vital service to our community. Public power has a long history nationwide of supplying electricity to communities when investor-owned utilities wouldn't or couldn't provide this crucial service. The nation's 2,000-plus community-owned utilities currently supply power to millions of people in 49 states and 5 U.S. territories. The communities range in size from being very small to the largest public power system, which is owned by citizens of Los Angeles, California. San Antonio is the second largest city in the U.S. receiving public power. Municipally owned, public power utilities answer directly to their customers. Decisions are made locally by citizens of the community. Because public power utilities are owned by their communities and are not motivated by profits, rates are typically lower than investor-owned utilities and reliability is higher. Public power utilities value providing local customer services such as local offices with pay centers. GEUS is a public power utility. That means your utility is community-owned and not-for-profit. GEUS is proud to be your local public power utility.
New, better, fast. The same excellent reliability and hometown service you've always counted on. Now with faster speeds. Whether it is streaming, gaming, surfing the web, or working from home, GEUS is connecting you to the world. Sign up today at GEUS.org or by calling 903-457-2800.
Careful use of our energy resources is a GEUS priority, and we know that saving money as well as energy is important to our customers. Did you know that you can save money year-round by making small changes to your thermostat? Save money and energy year-round by installing a programmable thermostat. Program a setting comfortable for your whole family while you're home. Program the thermostat while you are away 7 to 10 degrees or more cooler in the winter and warmer in the summer. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, you can save as much as 10% per year by doing this. Weather impacts our heating and cooling costs, causing our units to run more, especially during extreme temperatures. Adjust your thermostat just 4 degrees from your normal settings during extreme temperatures to conserve energy and save on your utility bill. Consider energy efficiency updates to your home to help improve comfort and savings. Improvements like sealing cracks around doors and windows and upgrading attic insulation keeps your cooling or heating in when you need it. GEUS customer service is ready to serve and assist you any way we can. Call 903-457-2800 or visit our website at www.geus.org.
Serving the people of Greenville is what we do. At GEUS, community involvement, volunteering, giving back through sponsorships, and providing hometown service with world-class reliability are just a few of our priorities. Being a locally owned public power utility means we are your family, friends, and neighbors. Community involvement and giving is easy when you are serving your hometown. Nationally recognized reliability and service, owned by those we serve for over 130 years.
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. GEUS, delivering high-speed internet to our hometown for more than 20 years.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
Bob Muty back here in the press box at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium where the Lions lead 35-21. Got a very special guest here with us. This gentleman is named Ben Rosen, and he is a banker and a football coach in Germany.
That's correct, Bob. That's correct. I traveled around about 19 hours last Monday, and I'm glad to be with you now.
It looks like you could have played a little football. You're a big guy.
Yeah, I'm a big guy, but I used to play in 2009, and I was a bit more skinny, but good food, and I guess I got a lot of that in Texas here as well. So
what have you learned from Coach Jackson about football?
Well, football's very different here than it is in Germany. So everything is wider, faster, and a lot more passion here. I mean, it's a tradition. It's almost a religion, right, in Texas. So
no question.
Absolutely love the sport, and it's a blessing to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. How long has football been played in Germany?
Well, mostly in Berlin, where I come from 1979. So quite a while. But I guess we're still in baby shoes in comparison to the U.S.
Uh-huh. Now, Coach Jackson was telling me a little bit about his experience over there. Now, I understand you can only use one American player. Is that correct on a team?
Well, round about two.
Two?
And there are different regulations depending on their background, of course. But it is evolving more and more throughout Europe, and, of course, more attractions through also Euro players. But Randy did a great job when he was in Germany.
Did you enjoy coaching against him?
Well, not so much. My team didn't have the benefit of winning against him. He really gave it to us. So, I mean, he has a very, very special way of coaching, and especially what he brings to a team and what he puts out is definitely unique and great. Yeah, very, very fast.
Now, he was an offensive coordinator. What coaching position did you have on your team?
Well, I'm an offensive coordinator myself.
Okay.
But I'm also helping out a smaller team, which is an academy team for up and coming, similar to a JV team.
Okay.
But he invited me to come over, and it just has been just pure love right here.
And this is quote unquote professional development for you, right?
Well, it's definitely part of my vacation, not gonna lie. But I can definitely take so much he gives me, and so much more that I can see here throughout on every day.
So you're a banker by trade, correct?
Well, not by trade.
Okay.
I'm doing online banking, and I'm a team lead within the biggest European bank or online bank there is.
Okay.
But it is what it is, right? Everyone has to own their
So
their
how
money.
much, when you split your time, how much time do you spend coaching?
Well, coaching isn't only on the field, right? You have to do a lot of things that surround the team. So roundabouts, when it comes to my job, it's 40 hours a week.
Okay.
And when it comes to football, I'd say it's round about half of it.
Okay. So you're a busy guy.
Well, I try my best. What can I say?
So you didn't have an opportunity to go to the coach's team's induction over there in Mesquite today?
Not a Mesquite. But I've heard what Randy has done throughout the last couple of years here in Texas.
Yeah.
He has had his fair share of success, and I'm very, very hopeful he can translate that to Greenville. I mean,
Well, yeah.
It has been an exciting game, and let's hope for a second, even better second half.
Well, you're right there with us. I see he's got you a Greenville shirt here.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
And he's got plenty of double X's or whatever you happen to be. So it was perfect that you came to town and he had a shirt for you.
Absolutely, that's true. I mean, I definitely have to cut off some weight, but I can also assure you that wasn't easy with the Texas love that I got here. The hospitality has been different.
That's good. How do you, I know they talk about Texas hospitality, but
Yes.
clearly compared to the folks in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
is there really that much difference?
Absolutely. I mean, what the hospitality in Texas is just passion, love, and an open mind for everyone and everybody, right? So when it comes to food, football, and of course just the heartfulness of people. It is different to what we have in the capital. Everything is a bit more isolated, but in Texas everything is way more wide. So I guess there is a big difference between that.
So you can go for the wide open spaces?
Well, I guess I'm falling in love with Texas more and more. I mean, everything is wider, brighter, and faster here. So not only football, but also everything else. Yeah, I mean, the food is amazing. And yeah, I'm in love.
What about American beer? Is it as good?
Well, well, there has been legends through the American beer. I heard it's like water in comparison to the German one. But I'm not big on beer.
You're not a beer guy?
No, I'm not a beer guy.
I'm right there with you, Ben. Never could develop the taste for the brew. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm good with a Dr. Pepper. Have you been introduced to Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper, I have been introduced. But we also have Dr. Pepper in Germany. So
okay.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there has been a few things that are Texas exclusive, like Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
So I've been to Buc-ee's and had my fair share of some Longhorn loving, I guess. And yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. It was really, really, really fun.
Buc-ee's is it's a destination.
Absolutely.
People just they drive 30 or 40 miles just to go to Buc-ee's.
Well,
they're not traveling anywhere. They're just going to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's great.
They do their Christmas shopping there.
Christmas shopping, and you know they have a really interesting business model. I don't know whether you noticed, but there's no place to sit down to eat at Buc-ee's. So they don't have to hire people to clean up after customers. They don't have to provide an area where people can sit down and eat. So people take their food and they go out to their car like they're tailgating in a football game, and they eat at their car.
Yep. And the size of Buc-ee's is definitely something else as well. I mean, the amount of gas stations Buc-ee itself has is just something different.
Nothing like that in Germany, I guess.
Nothing. No. We're a bit more conservative when it comes to the environment, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just gotta love a good truck, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, and Texas has a lot of trucks.
Everybody's got to have a pickup truck, right?
Absolutely.
Now, one question. What do you pay for gas in Germany?
Well, it depends on the day. It changes from day to day.
Okay.
But it's definitely way more expensive than what it's
Way more.
round about here. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have German oil companies?
Well, no. We tend
no
to,
oil production in Germany?
No,
Okay.
there's no oil production. in Germany.
Okay. So you depend upon lots of different countries to get your
other nations, etc. But I mean, that's a part of Europe, right? We're in a big union, and I mean, it is what it is, right? We're living in a good life right now, and I guess things have to evolve a bit more throughout Europe. But I mean, that's all politics, right?
Yeah. We won't get into politics.
No, we won't.
No politics in this broadcast. Okay. All right. Well, look, Ben, it's been great for you to have you here.
Bob, it was an absolute pleasure, and I can only tell you have some international fans that love the way you not only commentate the game, but the person you are as well. You're an absolute legend. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much, and safe travels back to Germany.
Thank you very much.
Keep us posted with your football progress.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's Ben Rosen from Germany, and we're going to watch the Greenville band now, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. Thank you.
got up. It wasn't that bad today. I got
Oh, that's really bad. You probably left down top 10, top 5.
I didn't know how long 440. Noon, I was on the way home.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, that's the thing. Full day sub and just call it a day up there.
That's the beauty of it. I got to get my ass up at 5 o'clock every morning. 3:30, I'm going.
Now, in 4 weeks after y'all win district and the region and all that, are y'all going to keep running or you?
Yeah, so this is
welcome back to the Panthers.
Well, what an interesting conversation I just had with Ben Rosen, football coach and banker from Germany, who coached against Randy Jackson when Randy was an offensive coordinator in the German Professional Football League. Incidentally, we are missing David Claiborne tonight, and I have a sneaking suspicion that David might be under the weather. So Bentley and I want to send out our thoughts and prayers to David. David, we're thinking about you, and we hope you're going to be okay. We miss your write-up in the paper yesterday preparing us for our broadcast. We had to go to Max Preps and do the work there. But in any event, we're going to have some more football here in a minute, Bentley.
Yes, sir, for sure. And before we get really going here, let's give you a little update on what's going on around the district. So far it's looking like, Greenville's leading 35-21 over Princeton right now. Melissa is at 21-7 still over Terrell, and Lovejoy has jumped up to be leading Denison 40-0. So we knew that Lovejoy team was good, but they're the real deal, folks. And that Lovejoy team, they're going to be a train this year, no doubt, like we expected. But it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
And it sounds like Terrell's giving Melissa about all they can handle.
Yeah, it does. And so I mean, it's definitely interesting around this district because that Melissa team is good, and they're ahead, but they haven't really scored a whole lot.
Well, we're about ready to get underway here in the second half. The Lions have a 14-point lead, and Reagan Goggins is lined up for the kickoff. The kickoff is up, and it's taken at the 38-yard line, and the Princeton returners got plenty of room to run, and they're going to be starting field position just inside the Greenville territory. We'll call it right at midfield.
Yeah, I looked right about there, and that the tackle was made by number 11, Noah Davenport there. So, he had that one missed kick earlier, but he definitely was able to jump on that defender, that ball carrier there, and take him down. So that's always good.
1st and 10 for the Princeton Panthers. They're led by their senior quarterback, Braden Ratliff. And we'll see if Bryce Dade is back in the backfield for Princeton. I think that's him in there, Brentley.
I think you might be right.
And the handoff, no, it's a fake handoff, and rolling right and completing a pass. Actually, the pass was well thrown, but in and out of the hands of Dylan Gilbert.
Yeah, and you were right, Bob. That is number 20, Bryce Dade in the backfield, which is good to see because he looked to be real shaken up at one point. So good to see that he is out there and still going strong with it.
Well, Gilbert was wide open on that pass from Ratliff, so the Lion DB still having lots of problems covering these receivers. Here's Dade with a handoff, and he's got a lot of room to run. He's down to the 35-yard line and pushed out of bounds inside the 35 of Greenville. Bryce Dade with a big carry.
Yeah, and he is definitely a fantastic running back there and hard to take down, but luckily the Lions were able to eventually force him out of bounds.
Replaced by Presley Self now in the backfield. And there's a snap that Ratliff wasn't expecting, and it looks like possibly the Lions might have ripped that one away from Self. Let's see who got it.
Yeah, and it was, in fact, recovered by number 45, Cody Waldrop there, and it really just looked to me like what you said, Bob, that they just weren't ready for that snap, and it kind of bounced off the both of them, and Waldrop was able to get back there and just wrestle it away from him. So that's going to give the Lions some pretty good starting field position here.
That's a huge mistake on the part of the, I'm going to call that's a center's mistake.
Yeah.
Because clearly Ratliff wasn't ready, and neither was Self.
Yeah, and something was miscommunicated in some way. Somebody didn't know the proper count off, something. But, this basically is like the Lions receiving the kick on boat to start the game and start the second half.
Absolutely. Another turnover against the Panthers. So this time Peyton comes in motion and takes a little flip, which will go down as a pass completion for Anthony Johnson. And Peyton is able to move forward for about 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Peyton splits wide right. Johnson waits for him to get set. Now he comes back a little bit to tighten up the formation. Johnson steps back. Once again, Peyton in motion. Fakes and he's throwing deep for Fifield. And Fifield just can't reach it. Very close.
Yeah, and it was an excellent pass, and he was just a hair too far. Just had a little bit too much on it, but we've seen them connect a couple times on some deep balls here, and I think they'll go back to him again eventually.
Braden Maps come out of the offensive lineup, and Johnson on the keeper is loose, and he's down, and he's 30, the 20, the 10. Anthony Johnson into the end zone for a 55-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, an excellent play there by Johnson, and I said they were going to go back to Fifield, but it ain't going to be on this drive by any means as he goes, was that 55 yards it looked like? All the way in for a score, and excellent play by the Lions here.
I'll tell you what, Big Anthony, when he gets his motor going, he gets that stride, and he can pick him up and lay him down, and he was moving. There was nobody near him from about the 30 into the end zone. Here's Nick Just's attempt at the placement. The kick is up, and Nick Just once again is solid with the extra point. The Lions move the score to 42-21. They've doubled up on the Princeton Panthers after that Panther turnover.
Yeah, and at the with the Lions scoring there and bringing their total up to 42 points, the ROTC guys are fixing to lift a board in the air as one of their members does 42 push-ups on that board, and if they score again, he'll do 49 push-ups or however many points they get on the board after they score again.
He's going to be tired, and he's going to be stronger by the end of the night.
He is. The good thing is they change out every so often, but still, they're definitely getting their work in tonight.
Yeah, that's a good tradition. Do you know who the guy doing the push-ups is, or do they rotate the responsibility?
Yeah, they rotate it, and I'm not too sure. I knew a couple of the guys that did them last year, but they both graduated, so I don't know who that is down there right now.
I'll tell you what, he's doing a pretty good push-up. 42 times, and he's laying down on that board now. He is tired.
I can't say that I blame him. I'd be pretty tired after doing 42 push-ups too right there.
You couldn't get me to do 42 push-ups, I'll tell you, Bentley. All right, Lions 42-21 over the Panthers. Reagan Goggins. Boy, I would like to see him cook this thing a little bit deeper. What do you think? Would you like to see a deeper kickoff?
Yeah, I would too, and he's got the wind to his back, so I think it's definitely doable.
Let's see if Coach Jackson calls for a deeper kick this time. Goggins is going to approach the kick a little bit different. He's not off to the side like he has been. Here comes the kick. It's more straight on, and it's taken again at the 35-yard line, and again a good return up beyond midfield.
Yeah, so I think they're probably going to mark that one down. It looks like they're going to mark it down at the Princeton 49, but it looked more like the 50 to me, but hey, we'll take it.
I can't believe that Coach Jackson is happy with these kickoffs and the coverage. I think there's still some work to be done by the special teams for the Lions, and it's an area where Coach Jackson just hasn't had an opportunity to really work with those special teams. So here's Princeton with first down. We'll call it midfield. Ratliff takes a snap, hands to Dade. Dade got room. He's down to the 40, down close to the 30. 3 or 4 red shirt or black shirted Lions have to bring him down, but about a 20-yard pickup for Bryce Dade.
Yeah, and an excellent play by the senior running back there.
Chains move, first down Princeton. Fakes to Dade, finds his man out here in the right flat, and pretty nice work there by Goggins to bring him down by the shirt sleeve.
Yeah, really good play, and that was number 23, Jordan Mosley, on the catch there.
Second, we'll call it 6. 9:38 remaining here in the third quarter. Lions up 42-21. Ratliff checks to the sideline for the signal. Looks to his left, finds his man, dodges a tackler. I think that's Perkins. Perkins is down to around the 10-yard line before the Lions can bring him down.
Yeah, and it looked like number 18, Jamorian Hamilton, and number 33, Jonathan Sampson, on the tackle there. Looked like Hamilton got beat initially, but he redeemed himself by chasing him down and making that tackle there for the Lions.
Both offenses moving pretty smartly up and down the field. 9:01 remaining.
Lions with a 3-touchdown lead.
First and 10 for the Panthers, just outside the 10-yard line. Ratliff looking downfield. It's tipped and intercepted. Somebody got a hand on that. That might have been one of the linebackers, and then the DB made the interception.
Yeah, that pass was tipped by number 33, Jonathan Sampson, and it looked like, I'm not sure who was the one who caught it, but I think it might have been number 28, Ruben Enriquez.
Well, Enriquez is coming off the field. He's a little bit shaken up. I wonder if he was involved either with the tip or with the interception. But irregardless, this is a 4th turnover by the Princeton Panthers. 1 turnover on downs, and now 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery.
Yeah, and you know Coach Chandler is not happy about that on the Princeton sideline.
Lions take over at their own 10. Hand off to the running back. I think that's Johnson. And he is swarmed by some white-shirted Panthers. Looks like maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, which looks to bring up 2nd and 9.
2 receivers right, 1 split left. That's Fifield. Think they'll throw from this deep. Johnson says, no, I'm going to keep it. And once again, he's running loose. Gets up to the 40-yard line. I'll tell you what, those Princeton defenders probably hate to see number 13 coming.
I'd hate to see number 13 coming. He's a hard guy to take down.
He is a load. All right, the chain gang been real busy tonight moving those chains. Johnson drops back, eludes a tackler. He's throwing deep. Man is covered. Good coverage by the Princeton defender that time as he's able to deflect the pass. Incomplete.
Yeah, and that was, again, number 23, Jordan Mosley, on the defensive effort there for Princeton. As we've seen him play both sides of the ball, and he's been pretty effective on both sides of the ball so far, regardless of what the score shows.
Peyton was the intended receiver on that last pass. Handoff to the running back. Short yardage once again. Good job by that Princeton defensive line. Johnson's only able to pick up 2 yards. That's Jaden Johnson in for for Greg Washington right now, getting some significant minutes at the running back spot tonight. Fifield split left. Williams and Dadrian Payton split right. H-back is Nathan Michelle. Dropping back and under pressure is Johnson. He lets it go, and he had to get rid of that one quick, and he overshot Fifield.
Yeah, and you hate to see him overshoot his receiver like that, but it was a good thing he got rid of that ball because he got just absolutely lit up by the defensive player for Princeton there.
And that's the first time really that the D line for Princeton has had some pressure on Johnson. That's going to force a punting situation. So Edwin Garcia is standing at his own 23-yard line, and deep for Princeton, returner standing at his own 25. Garcia will have the benefit. There's a fake to Johnson, and Johnson is going to, oh my goodness, he got a first down.
Yeah, and I thought the Lions might have something cooking because I saw him lined up in the backfield kind of hiding behind a blocker, and sure enough got a first down there as it looks like there's 3 players shaking up on the field.
Yeah, we've got multiple guys down for Princeton. 2 guys were down for the Panthers and 1 for the Lions. One of the guys from the Panthers is up and on his feet. We still wait to see the condition of the other 2 guys. The Lion is up on his feet.
Yeah, and that was number 33, Jonathan Sampson for the Lions, and that's number 3, Cam Drake for the Panthers that is still down on the field. So hopefully the junior wide receiver and DB will be all right.
And good to see Jonathan Sampson okay. He's a key in the defensive setup for the Lions. So I noticed Johnson in there as well, but it didn't occur to me that he's not normally in there. And
yeah.
that was a real risky play on the part of Coach Jackson.
That was, and I really do think that is just got to be an effort by Jackson to really just try and go ahead and score one more time and really put this game away. I mean, they've got a comfortable lead here with 7 minutes left in the third quarter, but, I mean, anytime you can throw a few extra points on the field, it's always good.
I'll tell you what, if it hadn't been for Anthony Johnson's ability to break tackles, I mean, he must have broken 4 or 5 tackles on the way to getting that first down, Bentley. That was incredible.
Yeah, there were several times they should have had him down, but he was able to bust through the tackles.
So the gamble pays off on 4th down, the fake punt. Maybe Coach Jackson figured with as many problems as we're having with our punting game, we might as well try a fake.
Might have.
And it worked. Fortunately for Greenville, Johnson was able to get the first down, and it looks like the injured player for Princeton is up now and hopefully able to move off under his own power. Gets a good hand from the stands, folks in the stands. That student section down there, tell me about that, Bentley.
Well, so the student section has always been a little bit of a thing, but it really got started last year by a couple of juniors, Jace Franklin and Brylan Hill. They really got it jump-started last year, and every game they pick a different theme, and they try to – some weeks it goes with the theme of the pep rally. Like this week it went with the pep rally's theme. It was glow, and so the theme for the game is construction, glow-in-the-dark, something like that, and basically you come out to the game dressed in all that gear and root for your team to hopefully the Lions get a victory.
Well, they're set up at the 46-yard line after that first down. Fake to Washington. Once again, Johnson's going deep, and he overshoots Payton this time. He's got an arm. He can let that thing go. That ball traveled about 50 yards in the air.
Well, and we talked about earlier in the season, first or second game of the season, talked about how some of his throws just didn't quite have enough air under him. These have a little bit too much air under him, and that could be have something to do with him throwing with the wind to his back.
Hands off this time to the running back. That's Jaden Johnson, and Johnson has got a first down. And there's a late block and some mixing it up there. That might have been Sixtos there trying to give Johnson a little bit more room to run, and he just bowled somebody over. I'm surprised he didn't get a call for a late hit there. very few penalties in tonight's game. It's been great. Johnson drops back, avoids a tackler, tries to throw deep, and that one is almost caught. That's, is that Hale down there, or is
I
that,
believe it is
Aiden Lewis? I can't remember.
I think that is number 2, Caleb Hale, and he tried. He really did try to catch that and turn that into a touchdown, but it is going to be an
try to keep his feet
incompletion.
in bounds. Now another fake. Johnson with the keeper. This time he's brought down short of the sticks. I think I saw a pancake block down there by one of the Lion offensive linemen. So they're making some holes for the big senior quarterback. It's third down, and we'll call it 2 yards. Ball is firmly placed at the Princeton 35-yard line with 6:02 remaining. Johnson looks left, finds Peyton. Peyton's got a first down and more. He's breaking tackles. He's down to the 16-yard line, loses his hat again, so he's going to get a play off. I think he does that on purpose so he can rest.
I think he might, and when you're as fast as Peyton and running around as much as he is, I can't blame him.
The wide receivers on both teams tonight are having a field day, folks. Johnson hands to Johnson, and nothing doing that time. Oh, no, he broke a tackle. Jaden Johnson he's putting on some moves tonight.
Well, and that's what's exciting about these Lions running backs is when you think there's nothing happening, a lot of times they see if they can figure something out. So it looks like number 78, Lane Martin, sophomore defensive lineman for the Panthers, is down on that play.
We'll take a break with this injured player, and we'll be back to talk more about Jaden Johnson.
New, better, fast. The same excellent reliability and hometown service you've always counted on, now with faster speeds. Whether it is streaming, gaming, surfing the web, or working from home, GEUS is connecting you to the world. Sign up today at GEUS.org or by calling 903-457-2800.
I'll tell you what, he's been impressive tonight. We're back, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are back, and here I am just blabbering. But we were talking about Jaden Johnson, Bentley and I, during the break, and the junior running back. Of course, both these guys, Washington and Johnson, Jaden Johnson, are juniors, so I tell you what, Johnson's putting on a show for me tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, and that's a good thing, talking about how we've got 2 running backs that are as good as they are, because that's something we seem to see in a lot of these teams where the Lions are playing against is most teams that are good have 2 good running backs.
Yeah.
And because, it's always good if you can have fresh legs out there, so when one gets tired, throw another one in.
They had Dennison last week with Yerkes and what was the other guy's name? Boy, those guys, Aliman, those guys were something. And Princeton has a pair of good running backs. But now the Lions, with Jaden Johnson appearing tonight, he broke a tackle. He was thrown for about a 2-yard loss, ends up with a gain of 8. All right, so it's second and we'll call it a long 2. Johnson gets the call again. This time he's into the end zone.
And that brings the Lions to 48-21 as we see the kicking unit trot out on the field to try and make it 49-21.
So Jaden Johnson, normally a defensive back or outside linebacker, gets into the scoring column with about a 10-yard run for a touchdown. So the Lions now with Nick Just attempting the extra point. Just once again is perfect. And the Lions go to 49-21.
Yeah, and that puts them ahead by 4 touchdowns with just a hair under 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter, as we've got the camera on the ROTC guys fixing to get up and do some push-ups here. He's got 49 of them to do.
Is it a different guy this time? We'll see. We're going to take a break, folks, and Matthew will probably keep the camera on him. All right, we're back after the 49 push-ups. My heart goes out to that cadet. I'll tell you what, he did a great job. Here's Reagan Goggins' kick. It's a squib kick that time, and it's a scramble for the ball. Looks like possibly. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad idea to try the squib kick that time. Like an onside kick, kind of, and the ball is laying somewhere just inside the Princeton 40-yard line. We're still not sure who's got it.
Oh, and it is recovered by Greenville. So Greenville's ahead by 4 touchdowns. They've got a 28-point lead as they go ahead and get the ball back right at about the Princeton 40-yard line. So they've got a short 40 yards to go as we can visibly see the all the guys fired up on the sidelines and the frustration on the Princeton sideline.
And Ruben Enriquez he's fired up down there on the sideline. I wonder if he was the guy that covered that one. That was a scramble for the ball. He may have actually wrenched it out of the hands of one of the Princeton Panthers. But this is amazing.
Yeah, well, and it has definitely been quite the game. You think those cadets are sweating down there, wondering if they're going to have to do 56 push-ups?
I'm afraid they might. At Washington back in the game, he goes in motion. Johnson was looking for him, and he had Dadrian Payton kind of open, but he overshot him a little bit. Must possibly not been on the same page that time. He was looking for Payton to go straight on a fly pattern, and Payton was running more like a post pattern.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 for the Lions after that turnover. Running back Greg Washington now spelling Johnson, and he gets a first down.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Washington in for a little while, but nonetheless, when he comes in, he still goes out there and produces.
I'll tell you what, the offensive line for the Lions are beginning to dominate. Got big Julian Sixtos. He's just a sophomore, manning the left tackle spot, and they're using that location for many of their runs. This time they go off right tackle, and Anthony Johnson is stopped after a gain of about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, and it was a low snap there, so not ideal, but Johnson still was able to turn it into something.
Adrian Payton split left, 2 receivers right, handoff to the running back. Johnson, he breaks a tackle down to the 15-yard line, and the chain gang's going to be moving again. I don't know who's on the gang tonight, but they've been plenty busy. That's what I say. Okay, here we go. Washington again with a handoff. And Washington's down inside the 5-yard line now.
And I think he's taking a bit of taking a page out of Anthony Johnson's book and just kind of running over defenders.
It's happening so fast, folks, I can't even keep up with the players. All right, Anthony Johnson's going to take the snap, standing at his 9, hands to Washington. This time, nothing doing. That was 2nd and short.
Yeah.
And I don't think he got it. So it'll be a 3rd down and got to be a couple of feet. Bentley, what do you think?
I think you're right.
Johnson this time hands to Washington, and Washington does have the first down to about the 1. So they're knocking on the door again. First down and goal. And Greg Washington, the junior running back, puts 6 more on the board. Goes in standing up, untouched. And I think Princeton's getting a little bit tired.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And once again, we see the flags go out as those boys run those flags down the track after every single touchdown. And we've got Nick Just out there to try and make it a 35-point lead.
Jet Fifield with the hold. Princeton defender tries to make the block. Good effort from him, but Nick Just's kick is up and good. 56-21, and we need a break for a drink of water, Bentley. Might be exaggerating on that. We're back. Okay. Talking about push-ups here, folks.
As that cadet has 56 to do.
And here's Reagan Goggins' kick. It's dropped at the 35-yard line by Self, and then Perkins picks it up. And this will be the worst field position that Princeton's had since early in the first quarter.
Yeah, for sure. And looked like the tackle was made by number 10, Dadrian Payton. So we don't call his name much whenever it comes to making tackles, but a lot on the offensive side of the ball. So looks like they're going to down it about at the 31.
And it looks like Coach Sellers, the defensive coordinator, got to get a chance to see some of his younger players on this series, as we've got a smattering of reserves in there now for the Lions. 3:17 remaining, 56-21. Lions lead Princeton. Ratliff fakes the handoff to Self. He keeps it up the middle, and he's down to midfield and running loose, pushed out of bounds by Noah Davenport. But there is a penalty on the play.
And I saw something, I could be wrong, but I kind of think I saw some holding by the offense there. So I have a feeling that run will be coming back.
Well, Ratliff sure had a lot of room to run, and could have been that maybe there's been a lot more of that going on, maybe just hadn't been called. We have not seen very many flags tonight, and that's okay with me.
Yeah, me too, and they are going to go ahead and call holding on them, bring them all the way back to the 28-yard line.
Things not going the Panthers' way here in the second half.
Yeah, they weren't in a bad situation coming out here, but it has quickly turned rough for them. So we see what appears to be number 14, Deshaun Aquarero, on the home sideline playing cornerback.
1st and 15. Fake handoff. Ratliff's pass to Perkins is incomplete.
Yeah, number 3, Aiden Lewis scooped that up, and he, I could tell from up here he was hoping they weren't going to whistle it dead because he was going to run it all the way back.
He was hoping it was a backward pass, but it was indeed a forward pass. Incomplete, however, so should be second down, and the line, the guy over there running the chain gang with the down marker did get it right on the penalty. That was a repeat of first down, so it's second. We'll call it 14, so that was a spot foul on the holding call a while ago, 10-yard penalty. Ratliff with the running back behind him, that's Self. Self comes right, and he's brought down by Greenville defenders. That's Sampson again?
It is, and Self tried to jump over, but Jonathan reached up and grabbed his ankle and took him down.
Interestingly enough, Jonathan Sampson's mom is Coach Jackson's administrative assistant, Olivia Sampson, and our shout out to her because she's been a great supporter and a great help to Bentley and me getting rosters and information about the upcoming opponent. 3rd and 11 for Princeton. Rolling left is Ratliff, looking downfield, finds his man, quickly downed, and another flag on the play, however.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I believe, on number 28, Ruben Enriquez, for a late hit on the quarterback. And it looked to me like he was jumping up trying to block it, but sometimes you just jump a little too far and you bump the quarterback, and so they're definitely going to be calling that and move them. I guess that's going to be first down.
Yeah, that's probably a late hit. That's probably a 15-yard penalty. I don't think it was anything malicious on Enriquez's part, but it will result in a first down for Princeton in Greenville territory at the 48-yard line. 1:40 remaining here in the third quarter of this 56-21 Lion lead. Under center is Ratliff. Self, 5 yards back, gets the handoff, and from behind is brought down. Might have been Jamorian Hamilton on the tackle.
I think
see
he might be
18.
right.
Is he playing up there on the line? He's normally a safety. We'll have to see if we see Jamorian He wears number 18. I thought that's who made the hit.
I think you're right.
59 seconds remaining. 2nd and 6 for Princeton. Ratliff drops back. He's looking deep. He has a man and brought down at the 18-yard line. That's going to be another first down for Princeton.
Yeah, and that was number 8, Daniel Renner, there on the play, making just a real excellent textbook tackle there as he hit him pretty low, and receiver there just didn't have much of an opportunity to go any
Dylan
further.
Gilbert, he was running wide open in the secondary, and Ratliff hit him with a good pass. But good job by Renner to get him down as quickly as he did. Chain gang once again in action. They're set up at the 20-yard line now, or just inside the 20. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They're knocking on the door with 43 seconds remaining, the clock running here in the 3rd quarter. Dropping back with plenty of time to throw is Ratliff. And he misses his receiver in the end zone.
Yeah, and that was some excellent coverage by number 3, Aiden Lewis there, as he really just turned that into absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think the coaches for over there, Princeton, thought there might have been a little bit of interference, but no flag on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Ratliff throws a pretty good ball.
Yeah.
He's had a pretty good night. Of course, most of his yardage have been through those short screen passes. At that time, here a minute ago, he found Gilbert on a nice downfield pass. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Sampson hands to Self. Self's up the middle. He's real loose, and he's going to be close to the end zone. And he gets a little help from his friends, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Presley Self from the 19-yard line. He didn't run into any resistance till he got to about the 4 or 5-yard line, and then he just forced his way into the end zone with a little bit of help from the big guys.
Yeah, by the time somebody met him with some resistance, 3 or 4 of his big teammates were there to go ahead and push him the rest of the way in. So interesting how that works out sometimes, but worked out well for the Panthers on that play.
Panthers look like they might go for 2 here.
And I think that would be a wise decision by them.
They need to get as many points as they can to try to close this gap. Ratliff back, and he finds his man who catches the ball and falls into the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, so that was number 10, Ratliff, completing again to 24, Presley Self. So typically we see Self get the ball out of the backfield, but he can catch it too.
56-29. We're going to take a break and be back for the Princeton kickoff.
Careful use of our energy resources is a GEUS priority, and we know that saving money as well as energy is important to our customers. Did you know that you can save money year-round by making small changes to your thermostat? Save money and energy year-round by installing a programmable thermostat. Program a setting comfortable for your whole family while you're home. Program the thermostat while you are away 7 to 10 degrees or more cooler in the winter and warmer in the summer. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, you can save as much as 10% per year by doing this. Weather impacts our heating and cooling costs, causing our units to run more, especially during extreme temperatures. Adjust your thermostat just 4 degrees from your normal settings during extreme temperatures to conserve 800 or visit our website at www.geus.org.
All right, that was an onside kick attempt by Princeton. And I think the Princeton player actually got the recovery, but I'm not sure he was 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, and we're waiting for the official call, it looks like.
Ball's going to be spotted at midfield. Greenville had the hands team in there. It was a really well-executed onside kick by Chris Walker. It was unsuccessful, however. I think it was because it was indeed, it didn't go 10 yards.
I think you're right, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful kick by Chris Walker. I tell you what, he couldn't have done that any better. That thing just bounced really high, but the ball is spotted at the 49-yard line of Princeton, and that's the reason that the recovery was not legal. Anthony Johnson back in there at the controls. Wonder how much longer Coach Jackson will leave him in there. Handoff this time to Jaden Johnson, and the junior is forward off right tackle for about 8 yards.
Yeah, and an excellent play, excellent run by Johnson there. So good to see both Johnsons performing well on that play.
Let's give credit to Braden Maps, and I think that's Xander Gonzalez on the right side.
And with that, time expires in the third quarter. So at the end of the third quarter, the Lions are going to be ahead 56-29 as both teams go to their respective sidelines to talk a little bit about what they're going to do in the fourth quarter.
We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Serving the people of Greenville is what we do. At GEUS, community involvement, volunteering, giving back through sponsorships, and providing hometown service with world-class reliability are just a few of our priorities. Being a locally owned public power utility means we are your family, friends, and neighbors. Community involvement and giving is easy when you are serving your hometown. Nationally recognized reliability and service, owned by those we serve for over 130 years.
Bob Muty and Bentley Burris back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. 56-29. Panthers have just put up 8 points to narrow the margin. 31 right now. How about 27? My math is not very good, Bentley.
It's all right. My math isn't always that good either.
Business math, right?
Yeah. Communications major, but they got me in there taking business math.
All right, the Lions are in Princeton territory right now after the unsuccessful onside kick, and the handoff goes to the running back, and breaking tackles down close to the 30-yard line goes junior Jaden Johnson.
Well, and you know, Bob, typically when the score gets to be this high, you see them start putting their reserves in, but when it comes to the running back position, they pretty much split the carries in half, so there really isn't a reserve.
Yeah, and Johnson this time spins off 2 tacklers, gets positive yardage before he's thrown down. I would think pretty soon that, of course, Princeton's can score. They can score in a hurry, so Coach Jackson may be concerned about, about calling off the Dogs too early in this one.
Yeah.
11:31 remaining, Bentley, and we'll take a break. Hey, we're back. Just had former offensive coordinator Brett Alexander to stop by and say hi in the booth. We got our intern, Archer O'Neill, checking out the broadcast skills of myself and Bentley. So far, he says we're doing okay. We'll wait for the ESPN call. All right, we're back. 11:19 remaining. Little pitch to Dayton Payton, and Payton is loose on the right sideline, and he's into the end zone, and he keeps on going. Adrian Payton with actually a pass reception, Bentley.
Yeah, so Johnson's going to get credit on that one, too.
You get credit for what was that, 22-yard pass, and it was actually just a little flip of about 2 yards.
About a 2-yard flick to him.
The Lions have broken the 60 threshold. Wow, what a game. Offense, you talk about offense.
There's been lots of it.
High snap, handled well by Fifield, and a beautiful kick by Just. 63-29, the Lions over the Panthers.
Well, and I've been, I haven't been to every game, but I've been coming to games since I was about 6 years old. So that's 12 years, and I don't remember the last time I've seen the Lions break 60 points.
I've been calling games for, longer than I want to admit, and I don't think I've ever seen a Greenville team score this many points.
It's definitely an impressive one for the Lions, and there's still a whole nother quarter to play.
Yeah, we got 11 minutes. 11 minutes left in this one. Now, Matthew indicated a minute ago that we might have a running clock, so we'll have to confirm that for you. But 63-29. Wow. All right, so Greenville's going to be kicking off this time into the wind. They're moving from our right to left here in the fourth quarter. And Reagan Goggins is going to handle the duties once again. We'll see what kind of a kick he comes up with this time, Bentley.
Yeah, he's kicking into the wind, so it might be a little difficult for him this time.
I don't think he'll do an onside kick. That would be a mercy killing right there. Reagan Goggins. Good kick this time, a little bit deeper, and actually is fielded, but it went out of bounds. I don't see a penalty flag, so I guess the receiver was still in bounds when he caught it.
Yeah, it looked like he caught it and then just stepped out of bounds, so it probably would have been a penalty if he hadn't caught it. But luckily for the Lions, he did, and looks like I think that was about at the 29-yard line.
Yeah,
we'll give it to him at the 30.
We'll call it the 30 just to stay even, even numbers, right?
Yeah, they're a lot easier to add.
Yeah, first down for the Panthers, and they're in a huddle, which you don't see very often anymore with the up-tempo condition of a high school football game these days. Ratliff looks to the sideline even after the huddle. He has Bryce Dade, who is right. He fakes to Dade, and he goes right, being chased by Tyler Trexel, and then forced out of bounds by two Lion defenders right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was being pursued by one of the linemen for the Lions, but it ultimately was number 7, Reagan Goggins, and number 8, Daniel Renner, that forced him out of bounds for, looked like a loss for me, or maybe he got him right there. We got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we'll call it 2nd and 10 for Princeton. Once again, they're huddling up. And there is a flag, and Greenville has accepted the penalty. It's a 10-yarder, holding against Princeton. So a couple more penalties late in the game here. And once again, a huddle formation. It's so unusual to see a huddle, Bentley. I mean, it looks so strange. First, and we'll call it 20 for Princeton. 10:15 remaining in this one.
As we see, I guess as the quarterback trotting over from the sideline after getting a play. And they're going to go ahead and break formation with 3 receivers split out to the left on the home sideline and 1 split out to the right.
Ratliff takes a snap, hands to his running back. And after a pickup of about 5 yards, the Lions bring him down. That was Dade. Senior running backs had a pretty good night. He responded from that injury, came back into the game, and we're glad to see him back in there. He's a vital cog in the Princeton offense. 9:34 remaining. Go ahead, Bentley, make the call.
All right, so looks like, again, 3 receivers split out to the left, 1 out to the right. I don't think that's Dade in there, so he hands it off to, looks like, I didn't quite see who that was. I think it was number 12, DeMarcus McCoy, as he gets it up to about the 33-yard line or so for 3rd down, and we'll call it 7.
I was watching my guy Mario Valentine, the nose guard, and he didn't fare too well on that particular play. But he was downfield, and he was involved right at the end of that as a possible tackler or helper. 3rd down and 7. You got it, Bentley.
All right, got 2 receivers split out right, 2 out left, as we see Braden Ratliff taking the snap and handing it off, as that play is going to go nowhere. Maybe get them 1 yard, but they needed 7 yards. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 6.
Little blitz action that time from the Greenville defense.
Yeah, and they, they didn't have an answer for that blitz there, but they're going to go for it again because, well, they kind of have to. They need a lot of points real late here.
Okay, Ratliff takes a snap from the shotgun formation. Actually, he looks over to the sideline now. 8 minutes remaining. 4th down, we'll call it 6.
And I think they're trying to get the Lions to jump off sides here.
Yeah, 5 seconds remaining on the play clock. Down to 1. And I think the Panthers have called timeout. 7:41 remaining. We'll take timeout with them. We'll be right back. We are back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium, and we are loving it because the Lions have a 63-29 lead.
Yeah, and while we're enjoying such a big lead, let's go ahead and bring you some scores from around the district. And we're not the only team with a big lead. Melissa's got a big lead over Terrell, up 52-21, and Lovejoy's added another touchdown as they lead Denison 47-0.
4th and 6. Braden Ratliff finds his receiver, and they're going to move the chains. That's a nice job downfield. Good pass and good reception by Jordan Mosley.
Yeah, and that was, again, number 7, Reagan Goggins on the play there. So we call Goggins' name a lot, but that's a good thing. He's always making plays.
Yeah. And credit to the Panther team. They are not quitting.
No.
They're down by 34 points, but very much like the Lions last week against Denison. There's no quit in this Panther team.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. No quit can take you a long way.
Absolutely. All right, so Ratliff under center this time. Pitches to Self, and Self running toward the sideline, and that's a late hit right there, and there's the penalty.
And
Khalil
there's
Parker.
another penalty.
Yeah, Khalil Parker brought Self down after he was already out of bounds, so I think that's going to be a personal foul penalty. And that's, again, one of those things where, sometimes you can't stop yourself. You're ready to tackle the guy, and all of a sudden you're out of bounds. I don't think Parker meant anything malicious there.
Yeah, I had a couple classes with Parker last year, and he's not a malicious guy. Now, I'm sure it changes when you're between the lines and your adrenaline gets pumping, but he's an all-around good guy, so I couldn't imagine him purposely trying to drive somebody out of bounds, especially when they're up by this many points.
Yeah, I mean, he just tackled him from behind. It's just that it was a late hit. So after the penalty, the 15-yard penalty, the ball is going to be spotted at the 34-yard line. 6:40 remaining. I believe we've got a running clock, so this one's going to be in the books here pretty soon. And Princeton, frankly, is not in any huge hurry. Bentley. They know that they're not going to win this game, but they want to get the right call, and they want to have, the best execution they can possibly get. It's a very good point, Matthew. Matthew says they don't want the Lions to get the ball back.
They want to use as much of this clock as possible because they don't want the Lions another touchdown up on them.
Makes perfect sense. Good observation by Matthew Middleton. Okay, fakes the handoff, and there goes Ratliff around the right side. He's a shifty little guy, and he works his way down to about the 28-yard line where he's forced out of bounds.
Yeah, taken down by number 7, Daniel Renner, and number 28, Ruben Enriquez on that play there. So excellent drive by those two boys.
Yeah, most of the Lions are still in the game. So Coach Jackson wants to make sure that his guys get plenty of work in and get to enjoy everything about this possible victory. We're down to 5:25. It's 2nd and 5. I thought actually he got more than that, but I guess that's not the case. Under center is Ratliff. Look, steps back, throws deep. Got a man. Nice leaping catch there at the 5-yard line. Is that Mosley again?
It is, and that really was a beautiful catch. A one-handed snag there by Mosley as he turns into it and goes down.
Out jumped Reagan Goggins for that reception. 1st down and goal for Princeton. We'll call it at the 6-yard line. Ratliff hands to Self. Self is brought down from behind at about the 3.5-yard line. Pretty good defensive play that time by the Lions. 2nd and goal. Ball spotted at the 4-yard line. 4:33 remaining, clock running. 2 wide receivers split either side. Let's see if they stay inside or go to the pass. Man in motion. Rolling left and looking for Perkins, who was the man in motion. Ratliff misses him. So the incompletion does indeed stop the clock. So I was mistaken. 4:18 remaining. Clock stopped right now. Well, here we go. We don't know whether we got a running clock or not. We're kind of lost up here, Bentley.
Well,
Are you lost? Are you lost like me?
Maybe a little bit. It
Okay.
appeared it was running, but I guess not.
All right,
There it goes again.
All right, here we go. Handoff to Self, and he's going nowhere.
Yeah, and that was number 18, Jamarion Hamilton, that just got right there in the backfield, and the guy had no chance. And then if Hamilton wasn't enough, Parker was there too to help him finish it
I
off.
was just
but,
about to say I saw number 59 there, and that is old Khalil Parker. He's headed for all districts accommodations once again this year, unless I miss my guess. All right, it's 4th down and goal now from the 7-yard line. 3:40 remaining. Presley Self in the backfield with Braden Ratliff for the Princeton Panthers. Looking right, faking on the out and up, and victimized over there on that side for the Princeton touchdown. That out and up, boy, that's pretty darn effective for Ratliff.
Yeah, and that was Perkins on the catch there for the touchdown next to number 11, Noah Davenport for the Lions.
Yeah, he put a really good move on there. He planted his foot and made a step out like he was going to go for the out pattern, and then just quickly turned up the field, and Ratliff really hit him perfectly. So 6 points for the Panthers. Score currently 63-35. Panthers are going to go for 2. They spread them out 3 wide right, 1 to the left. Looking left and finding his man. And there's a little celebration by the receiver. Is that Stottenborough?
I believe you're right. Yeah, Azan Stottenborough.
Yeah, you don't be celebrating when you're down 30 points.
No, I don't think you do. And the ref made sure he knew that by throwing the flag there. So
well, he knew it really wasn't 30 points. It was less than that. All right, so the 2-point conversion is good. Another good throw by Ratliff, and good reception. Just got a little bit overzealous with the spike in the end zone. 63-37. We're going to take 30 seconds to catch our breath. We are back. Lions will be receiving this time. And we'll see if Princeton tries a onside kick or decides to kick it deep. The penalty is going to be assessed, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So that'll bring the spot for the kickoff back to the 30-yard line. And it looks like the sophomore, Watson's going to take the kick. This will be interesting. You don't want to try an onside kick down this steep in your own territory. So we still have the hands team out there for Greenville. And is this Walker or is it the sophomore? I think it might be Walker. And it's a low kick, squib kick, taken at the 40-yard line. And I think the receiver took a knee. Probably a good decision that time.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's Isaiah Williams who took the rolling kick and just decided to kneel down rather than to chance a possible fumble on a return. So good starting field position for the Lions. Let's see what kind of a lineup we have, whether or not we have the starters, and it looks like we're going to have some of the starters in there, maybe all of them. Yep, we got Nathan Michelle. It's in the slot this time, so he's not at his normal H-back position. He's in more of the tight end. He's in the slot. So let's see if Michelle possibly might be the receiver on this particular play. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line of Greenville. Man in motion, takes the flip. That's Isaiah Williams, and he's quickly brought down for a loss.
Yeah, looked to be a loss of, well, it looks like they're going to mark it as a loss of 1 on that play. So not quite the direction you want to go if you're the Lions, but the main thing here is just eat up as much clock as you can, and with the running clock, that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
And it looks like Anthony Johnson's going to get the rest of the night off. So Nathan Michelle takes over at quarterback. Caden Waters into the game now at running back. Waters gets the handoff and gets positive yardage up toward midfield. So we got a couple guys in there getting a little action that don't normally see actions, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much still the offensive line, the starters, maybe with a couple of exceptions. I see David Willis in there at right tackle, so he's getting some time on that O-line.
Yeah, well, and I can imagine that they'll just snap it and hand it off to Waters pretty much every play.
Yeah, they're letting the play clock run down. Got a new H-back in there right now. Try to identify him as we go on. Michelle at quarterback, hands to Waters. Waters goes off right tackle, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, and there's a reason Waters is the guy they give it to when they're up by a lot. He's not, I mean, he's a workhorse, can be, but he's not quite along in there with Johnson and Washington when it comes to running the football.
Waters, a 6 foot, 170-pound junior, actually plays most of the time as a defensive back. Big Richard Medina is in there at the H-back. Richard goes 6'1", 260. And I'll tell you what, I met some of those guys today. Victor Orsornio is an absolute beast. He was sitting next door to Julian Sixtos, and he made Sixtos look small. And Sixtos is 6'4" and weighs, or 6'5" and weighs 270.
You know you're a big guy when you make Sixtos look small.
Oh, man. We got timeout on the field. If you're just joining us, folks, Greenville is ahead 63-37. And Matthew's got a note for me. He's going to write something down. But this could be the most points scored by a Greenville team in a long, long time. We talked about that earlier. I can go back into the 90s when I called games for KGVL with Rich Renault. And as Bentley and I said earlier, I'm not sure I've ever seen him score 60.
Yeah, well, and quick little note by Matthew Middleton here. Y'all don't forget to tune in this coming Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. as GEUS will be live streaming on their YouTube channel the Varsity Girls volleyball game. And so y'all make sure to tune in. It's against Denison, and it's going to be a good game, hopefully. So y'all tune in and hopefully watch the Lady Lions come home with the victory.
Jet 5 field now in punt formation. Takes a snap. It's a high snap. He gets the kick away with the left foot. It's a high kick. And it goes over the head of the receiver. He might have touched that. And the Lions are trying to down it. They might have been able to fall on it for a fumble recovery. Guys next door thought that the returner actually touched the ball. I don't think he did. So it'll be Princeton ball at the 12-yard line. Kind of a moot point with 56 seconds remaining. And once they spot the ball, the clock will begin. And probably one or two more plays, Bentley, and this one will be in the books.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is. It's definitely over. And
what a night to be without David Claiborne.
I know. He would have had some crazy stats for us.
Wow. He'd have been a busy guy with the stats, I'm telling you what. All right, we got a couple subs coming in now on defense for the Lions. 1st and 10 for Princeton at their own 12-yard line. Under center. Braden Ratliff hands off to Bryce Dade. Dade bounces off tacklers. Trexel's after him. He breaks Trexel's tackle. Still going around the right side. Bryce Dade all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Well,
before he's forced out of bounds.
That's a beautiful example of making a whole lot of something out of a whole lot of nothing.
Lemonade out of lemons, man, for Bryce Dade. So that's good for that young man. Came back from being injured earlier in the game, and that's going to do it, folks, I think. Coaches are walking. Oh, okay, timeout called. All right, Coach Jackson is onto the field.
It looks like there's a Lions player hurt over there on the visitor sideline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want any of that late in the game. Try to identify the player. Let's take 30 seconds and we'll try to find out who's down. All right, we are back. The injured player is at linebacker Ruben Enriquez. He's being assisted to the sideline by the trainer. It looks like he's going to be okay. So we'll have at least one more play. It's 1st and 10 for Princeton at the 30-yard line. Ratliff under center. Two running backs. Fakes to the running backs, and oh my goodness, Brandon Ratliff just got hammered. Is that Waldrop?
No, that was number 40, Cade Coles there. One of the backup defensive ends for the Lions coming around that corner hot, and Ratliff never even saw him coming.
Oh, wow. He was coming in hot, and he flattened Braden Ratliff. And I'll tell you what, I played quarterback, and I hated to take hits like that. I mean, he just went down like a shot.
Yeah, and you could see the tempers flaring between the two teams, as I think we might see a different quarterback here, because it looked like Ratliff's helmet might have come off on that play. Could be wrong on that, but I think that's what I saw. And he was mouthing a little bit at Coles, and then there were a couple linemen getting involved, holding Ratliff back. And
looks like we do have a different quarterback coming into the game.
Looks
like the clock's going to run down, and that's the end of this one. Lions win 63-37. We'll be back to wrap this one up in 2 minutes. Bob Muty and Bentley Burris. Bentley Burris. I knew I was going to do that before the season was over. Bentley Burris is not in the booth. It's Bentley Love. Anyway, Archer O'Neill just made an interesting observation. Final score 63-37 in favor of the Lions. Put those two together, that's 100 points of offense, Bentley.
That's a lot of points scored in one high school football game because, I mean, they only play 48 minutes, so putting up 100 points combined in 48 minutes, that's pretty dang impressive.
And the student body is down on the field. We've got the Flashes. We've got the ROTC cadets. We got the cheerleaders. We got the players. We got some of the student section down there with their vests on. And I'm telling you what, band members, this is a nice show of solidarity. We have enjoyed this one. Naturally, whenever we get a win, we find it particularly enjoyable. But, boy, I'll tell you what, the offenses tonight just dominated.
Yeah, and, you know, this wasn't just a win. This was a game that I'm not saying the Lions are going to go off and they're going to beat Lovejoy or anything like this, but this is a real confidence booster for the Lions team, and that's something that you really need in a situation like this.
Yeah, and I think Coach Sellers and Coach Jackson are going to be putting their heads together and trying to shore up this defense because they gave up, you know, lots of yardage tonight. One of those nights when we really could have used David Claiborne, but we're hoping that David is okay. We didn't have.
I like seeing penalties, and you know, there might have been a few calls that were missed, but at the end of the day, it didn't really matter all that much, and the game just flows so much better when there's not a penalty every fifth play.
Right, absolutely. I see Big Ben Rosen, who was our halftime guest, down there. He's listening to Coach Jackson give the the final comments to the team. He's got his team all kneeled down around him, and he's talking to them, as does Irvin Chandler with the Panthers over on the far side of the field. But you think about Coach Jackson's situation coming in here 3 or 4 days before the season started, and trying to put together a plan with coaches he's never worked with and players he's never worked with or seen. And